So this is what should be happening right now as you guys are arriving, and I'll be putting some music in, but just fill out your QPR. So first 5 minutes here, make sure your qualified presentation report is filled out, and that's going in the chat box again. Update your schedule, the Excel sheet with anything you have going on from now through Monday. All right, so you guys should be on a new schedule week. Okay, so I want to look at that here, and I'll show you an example. Christian, is it cool if I just use yours as an example? Is that okay? I can't hear you.
Yes, ma'am, that's fine.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. So let me grab yours just to show everybody. Christian, what's your last name?
Garcia,
Okay.
Garcia.
I got it. I just want to make sure I had the right one. That's all. So here we go. So you guys can check this out. I'm just going to go ahead and share his real quick. So you guys all have one of these. If you guys look on the bottom, each week is in here. Cool. So that you guys can make edits to your week, whatever you have going on. So just so you guys, so what I need is for you guys to fill out this week, the 8th, what's happening in your world. Now, something that we have special offered right now during the break is that at 10 a.m. every day, there's actually a workshop happening at 10 a.m. every day. So just so you guys know and are aware of that during the holiday break, that's something that we just started. Yesterday we had a workshop, today we had a workshop, but that's happening every day. So, you know, in a perfect world, I would probably block off in here. This doesn't need to be blocked here. So I'm going to go ahead and just like remove that. You guys can check in anytime in the morning, you know, whenever you're going to go ahead and get started with your day. So let me go ahead and just move this, you know, we'll go through later, but just update your schedule, whatever you have going on. I'm going to go ahead and put, you know, possible appointments here if you guys wanted to do a demo there. But there is the optional workshop is happening daily here at 10 a.m. All right. So just so you guys know that that is happening. The one later in the evening, those are not happening right now, just the morning ones. Okay. So that's happening every morning. So you guys know if you wanted to join for that, we would love to have you. And then just put in any of the stuff you have, you know, so Christian has some of his stuff in here. So go ahead and put, if you have class, if you have anything happening, just put it into your schedule. That way you can block off. So if you're like, okay, I have church on Sunday, go ahead and highlight those boxes and put church. But that's what we want to be doing right now is, or one of the things you guys want to be doing right now is updating your schedule. So back over to here. So fill out your QPR, update your schedule. Make sure all your goals, like your daily goals, right? If you want to do like 5 tomorrow, that should be in the Vector Impact app. Make sure you guys update your goals in there. And then if you guys want to post on any social platforms, I'll go ahead and share these in the chat. But these are some examples. You can make your own, you can put a selfie, but we'd love your guys' help spreading the word, sharing that we have holiday openings available. Anyone that comes in because they heard about it from you, you're gonna get some sweet freaking bonuses, and it'll count for you guys being able to go for free to Puerto Vallarta. So give you a shot to earn that trip for free as well. So feel free to post on social platforms, and I'll post some examples there, or you can make your own. And then, you know, if you finish all that, feel free to make 10 to 15 MAT calls. And then if not, work on memorizing your recommendation approach. Cool. That is your bread and butter. That is what builds your entire business. So for the next 5-10 minutes, that's what we're going to be doing, is making sure you guys have this stuff done. Some of you guys, the manager is going to grab you to just look at your schedule real quick, make sure. So actually really the next 15 minutes, but they're going to look at your schedule. You know, if you have any questions, if they have any questions. And then at the end of today, we have time allotted for us to make sure we get all your payroll stuff done. Cool. So fill it out now. And at the end, like the last hour, we're going to be meeting with you guys, making sure your payroll's done, making sure your stuff is set, you know, and give you guys time to, you know, make some calls and make sure you're set up for a big week. Okay. So just so you guys are aware that that is what is going down. So I'm going to throw on some music, and managers, we should be checking their schedule. Do we have their QPR, and we can review that later, or you can review it real quick. But really at the end, we can make sure that's happening. Really more focus, help them with team builder. Cool. So any posts, if you want to do, help them with any Snapchat takeover. We just did a Snapchat takeover with Marilyn from the summer. I just did a takeover for her yesterday for the day. We had over 60 people apply, and another like 50 this morning that inquired about work, like just messaging. So a lot of people, like, they don't know that they can work for a couple weeks. So that's really cool. And we'll let you guys know who's already ahead in the contest. So next 15 minutes, you guys know what you can be working on. Managers, we want to be reaching out to anyone that we want to make sure is set up for success. And then we'll have time at the end. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this as we spend the next 15 minutes with music and getting stuff done here. All right. Regular training. So grab pen and paper, be ready to take super lots of notes. So first off, I do want to say, congratulations, from the first weekend, like without you guys knowing much, except, hey, read this and go have fun. Just seeing so many people knocking out their first sales this past week. It's super exciting. All right. So just seeing some great results this past week. We have almost everybody, knocking out first sales. We have Kenzie knocking on the door, first promo, Logan, like literally Logan's like $30 away, 30 CPO. Congrats to Christian having a grand day Sunday and knocking out his promotion. Jessica knocking out her first set sale. Stephanie knocking out first set sale. Kenzie knocking out first set sale. Logan knocking out first set sale. Tira knocking out first sale. Josh knocking out first sales. And I know there's so many more to come. And by the way, this is without you guys even knowing like how to sell, right? Like, it's like, we're like, read this, go have fun, but I'm going to give you guys some great stuff today to help you increase sales. And I'm going to give you some great stuff to help get more appointments. Cool. And really get launched out. And then Thursday, we're going to be reviewing some more material with you guys. But for those who jumped on a little bit later, we kicked off by getting your qualified presentation reports filled out. We will be reviewing those at the end with you. You'll be meeting with a manager, making sure that those are good and we can get those submitted. You guys, we get legway until today for y'all. But typically every week we need those by Monday, 4:00, when we have payroll on Mondays at 4:00, because we need to get everything done, submit it to the company so that they can process checks Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday they send out the confirmation once payroll's done. Thursday morning, they send out the confirmation. Friday morning, it's in your bank account. Or if you're on paper check, they mail it out on Friday. So we'll review pay stuff here in just a couple minutes. Christian, I don't know if you already emailed yours in, and if you can make sure, because I'd like to use yours as an example if I can, just to show what it would look like. Or Logan, if you have yours filled out, if you can make sure that that's emailed, so I can review that here in a couple minutes. Okay. But we did that. Some of you guys, thank you for those who put social posts up. All right. And I do want to share, I forgot to share in the chat box, so I'll go ahead and put it here because I had someone ask me, they're like, I didn't see the post. You can just do a selfie of yourself and post it up. If you want to share the holiday flyer, we do have the holiday flyer right now that a lot of people have been sharing, and I want to thank everybody definitely who has, and just helping us spread the word. A lot of people have no idea that we have our holiday program and that they're able to just work, for a week or two, or longer if they wanted to. Like, they have no idea that that's even an option. And so we just want to make sure to get the word out there about the holiday opportunities and what we have available. So I'm sharing 3 different flyers. You can pick whatever you like best. Or you can just do a selfie, do a funny picture, make it a holiday and be like, hey, holiday work available, and put some of this actual language, like the wording from some of these flyers, on yours. So I just shared 3 different images, so you guys have that. But I do want to say we haven't had a chance to talk to all of your friends. At the end of today, my goal is to help you all at least get 2 scheduled. Cool. So we can help you guys towards prizes. We can help you guys towards some free. Anyone want some free AirPods? Because I just bought like 6 pairs to give away. So we've got AirPods, we've got Ray-Bans. We've got some fun stuff, and we've got Puerto Vallarta. But we're also going to be doing some cash bonuses as a thank you as we build into this new year. Cool. But we did get a chance, and I would say we already have some of Logan's friends set for interviews. We have some of Christian's friends set for interviews. We have some of Leslie's friends set for interviews. And again, we want to help all of you guys out. Cool. We have a little bit, we're short on manpower to get to everyone. But our goal today is to help everyone and get at least 2 of your friends scheduled that you know might be interested or are looking for work. Like, we're going to hook you guys up with that. Cool. So we'll do that at the end, and tell your team captains, hey, my friend, I really want you to talk to them. And all you have to do at the end of today and anytime you want is do a 3-way call. Cool. So just like you'll be talking to your manager if you're talking to Erica, and then you're like, oh my gosh, my best friend Stephanie really needs a job. And she'll like, hey, call Stephanie real quick so I can set her up for an interview. So any of your friends that you know need a job, are looking for work, at the end, we can call them. We can 100% guarantee them an interview. Cool. I cannot guarantee them a job, but I can guarantee them an interview. The job's up to them, and we'll see how the interview goes. If they know we want to give them a shot, but obviously they need to present themselves. Sounds good? So make sure they know, hey, I can 100% get you an interview. I can't get you a job, but I can get you an interview. And let's get them scheduled so we can help them out. All right. So we'll do that at the end. And we want to make sure also before you leave today that you have scheduled your first personal coaching session. I know some of you had your first coaching session yesterday. Some of you had one this morning, and some of you have not scheduled yours yet. That is a phenomenal perk you have of this job, is to be able to get that extra coaching. And you guys have one. We have a set program to help you guys out in your first month every week to be able to have a personal coaching session. And those typically are done with like 2 or 3 people at a time. And so we can help serve and dive in and give you guys extra ammo. So it's a more intimate setting to get more personalized attention. And so we're excited about helping you guys out with that. All right. So I want to say, welcome to your advanced training. This is my favorite training to run because it's actually based on experience. You've actually done something. So today, a lot of what I cover should make a lot more sense. Okay. And the more appointments you've done, the more things will click and the more sense things will make. That's for sure. All right. And don't forget, we've got your Fast Start contest that goes until Monday, and guys, in my first weekend, I sold a small set, I sold a pair of scissors, and after I left tonight, hit my promotion, and that week ended up selling, close to $8,000. I did 8,600 in my Fast Start total. And that was $1,600 earned, but it was really what I'm about to go over with you guys today that really made a big impact. That and getting my personal coaching session done. It was a game changer, and then I was like, boom, lights out, let's go, and so I'm excited to share some of that stuff with you guys. But here's what you want to understand when you start off. All right, write this down. Write down 10, 80, 10. Everyone write that down. 10, 80, 10. All right. And guys, here's the deal. 10% of people, all right, 10% of people that you show Cutco to, all right, actually, we'll talk about that with the sales, but in terms of first weekend results, we always see this. 10% of you guys, don't end up getting to the start that you wanted. Don't freak out, okay? Because I've had people, I remember when Will started, Will, his first weekend, one of my guys back in Miami, did 0 his first weekend. He didn't have any sales his first weekend. He came to advanced training and he popped off. He sold 11 grand that week from now until Monday. Babaran, one of my biggest fast starters, he had over a $20,000 fast start. When he came to advanced training on Tuesday, by the way, he was just shy of $1,000 in sales. And after advanced training, that next day he popped $5,000. Then he popped a 3K day, 4K day, 7K day, and he sold $20,000 over the next 5 days, or $19,000 over the next 5 days. Using the trade-in special that we're going to teach you guys, using some of the tips, it really made a big impact for him. And he was like, oh, I know what I was missing, and just being able to connect with customers. But it was really cool to see after his advanced training and coaching session, what happened and how he took off. Joel Felice, his first weekend sold 3 individual knives. Okay. Out of 7 appointments, he sold 3 individual knives. He left advanced training and sold 3 homemakers back to back with the trade-in special, 2 with the discount, and 1 with the discount and 2 with the free stuff. And did a great job. I remember Jorge, his first weekend sold a couple pieces, he was around $300-$400 in sales. deals. He came to advanced training, took the trade-in special. Next demo, galley plus 6 set. Next demo, homemaker plus 8. Next demo, essential set. And I was like, oh my gosh, and he sold $6,000 after advanced training and made over $1,000 in income. And guys, I can go on and on and on. If you are at zero or not where you want to be this weekend, like, do not stress yourself out. Cool. Some of my best reps had a slow start. All right. And I could tell you a million other stories. Majority of people are right on the averages, right? Where it's like 6 out of 10 purchased, or 3 out of 5. Your average order was around $300. Some of you lower, some of you higher, and it's all a numbers game. So don't forget that. All right. Yeah. Nadia, all-American scholarship winner, sold $50,000 this summer. One of the best in the country out of 20,000 students. Super slow start her first weekend. Things really clicked after advanced training for her the rest of that week. And so we're excited to be able to show you guys that and really guide you guys through here. And then, about 10% of you guys, you got off to a faster start. Don't get complacent. Cool. Complacency is the enemy of consistency and success. So keep your foot on the gas pedal. Do not get complacent. It's all about the next 7 days. Work ethic, attitude, and the number of demos that you do. All right. So the purpose of today is I'm going to teach you guys how to sell more and how to get more appointments. Then we're going to make a plan to have an incredible fast start. All right. Second weekend is always bigger than the first weekend. So get excited because you just have more, like, you get it more, right? You're better at the job. You're going to be better at the demo. You're going to be more confident. You're going to have more time. You're going to have bigger expectations. And I'm showing you the secret weapon today. So how to sell a set almost every single time. I'm going to teach you guys that today. Crucial key. You have to do more demos than you did your first weekend. You have to give yourself the best chance to go big. Okay. So assignment for the rest of your fast start: part-timers, minimum of 10 appointments, right? Full-timers, you should be going for 20 or more in the next 7 days. And I know that we're going to have people that do even more than that. Okay. But I want to make sure that you guys know what it's going to take to get where you want to be. All right. Right. And so jot this down so you have proper expectations in terms of the number of appointments and what you want to do. All right. But here's what it looks like. All right. This is it right here. So for the rest of your fast start, like I said, it's a numbers game. So if you do a minimum of 10 demos, you should sell another $1,000 to $3,000. Cool. 1 to 2 promotions right there. Boom. You do 20 appointments, you should sell $3,000 to $6,000 off of 20 appointments. And if you do 30 to 40 more appointments, you should have a $10,000 fast start. And so that's why it's not just about how you start, it's about how you finish. Everyone understand that? So you only get one fast start. And guys, this one's a very good goal to have. If you don't know this, once you guys get, like if you guys look at the prizes, every 1,000, like once you get to 2K, then 3K, then 4K, then 5K, every level, you're winning more free Cutco. Cool. So don't be the person that you end up at like, 3,900 on a level. It's like, get your butt over 4,000, get that next piece, so hook yourself up. There's so much free Cutco that you guys can get. And when you have a strong start and build that momentum, you're able to really ride that wave. Okay. So what I love about Vector is the opportunity that we have here, and you guys are going to learn and hear a lot about this, but I think about a rep advancement, for you guys. Like when I started off, again, I wasn't thinking about it. I wasn't really great. My average order was $150. My closing percentage was 40% closing. And it wasn't until, again, this training, advanced training, that things really shifted. All right. But just so you guys know, like what you're looking at and what levels, you guys can write this down. You guys can screenshot this, whatever you want, but just so that you know what's available and when, okay, in terms of advancement opportunities. And let me go ahead and spread this out here a little bit more. All right. So here you go. So once you get to $3,000, we have sales leadership development meetings that you can get invited to. And right now, next Tuesday, there's a special, like everyone, all the top people are invited to come 4 to 7:30 for our end of the year division meeting / 2021 kickoff, which will be next Tuesday in the Heights, starting at 4 p.m. Central Time Zone. But those who kick it into higher gear that are excited about the possibility possibility of advancement and you're like, man, I would love to move up, advance percentage, make more money. I would love to move up into a management position and really be able to hook up my resume. I would really be excited about maybe even getting a chance to do an internship next summer, like whatever it is that you're excited about. There's availability and it's important you let us know. But if you're over 3,000, you can get invited with the managers. We have a special management breakout Tuesday morning from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. loaded with great stuff for those who are excited about doing internships with our company in 2021 in a management position. Cool. But again, once you get to 3,000, you've made $400. It takes about 10 to 20 demos on average. 10K, whenever you hit that, you're at dirty 30. You've earned $2,000 in income. And again, it takes 30 to 40 appointments. Once you're at $20,000, you guys can get service call trained. Service call trained means that you guys can actually help existing Cutco customers with sharpening and help them with their orders. So that's cool. You've made $5,000 in income. All right. That's why I told you guys Bob was sitting at this right around $1,000. And between Wednesday and Saturday, he sold another $19,000, and his first weekend, he did like 11 appointments, and sold right around $1,000. So just so you guys know that. So anything's possible there. $30,000, you get into the mentor program. You're able to mentor someone else. You're able to be an official member of our events team, of our show team. If you guys walk into the mall, you're going to see them at the malls. If you're down here, you go to Baybrook Mall, right on the doors that go from the inside of the mall to the outside of the mall, you're going to see the Cutco booth out there. Go say hi to our guys. But whenever you get to 30,000, you've made $8,500. And so it takes about 75 to 100 appointments, So think about it like this. If you want to do it in 10 weeks, 7 to 10 appointments a week. Like just, that's how we're going to break it down with you guys. If you're like, I want to get there in a month, we're like, all right, cool. Well, then we need to be doing 20 to 25 appointments a week, right? Which would be like 4 to 5 a day, 5 days a week. Boom, you're going to get that done. And so we're going to show you guys how to get what you want. 60,000 gets you cruise qualification, and then 150,000 gets you to Cutco Sales Professional, being able to apply for Cutco Sales Professional. All right, and just different contests that we have and different perks that we have for you all. And I'm super excited to be able to help you guys with that. So as far as what it takes, I think about mastering the fundamentals, which we're going to talk about stuff today. Write this down. Attitude and work ethic. Okay. Repetition and passion. Our top people, like they are phenomenal at, talking with others about this, communicating with us, asking questions, getting help. Don't try to figure it out by yourself. Okay. So you guys should all have a team captain, text them, ask them for support and say, hey, when can we get a coaching session, and sit down so they can help you with that. All right. This right here, let me show you guys on here, another thing, this, and you guys could write this down, or actually I'm going to say these out loud to you guys. I'll just put it in the, I'll put it in the chat box. All right. If you guys want to grab that, but I think about attitude and work ethic, repetition and passion, following the manual. We're going to talk about this, showing qualified customers, having fun. We're going to go over this, CPR training, closing, phoning, and recommendations of CPR. Like that's what keeps you alive in this business, getting good at those things. And next Tuesday, we're going to have some really great tips from top performers and managers on best practices in those areas. I think about, learning opportunities for you guys, doing field training. I saw some people talking about field training this weekend, watching some of the more experienced guys on appointments. That's huge. We also have a recording of one of our top guys who sold $50,000 in 2 weeks this summer doing his appointment. You've seen some of his McCall, right? So are you going to workshops and phone jams every day, 10 a.m., Monday through Saturday? Right now during the holidays, we have a workshop, daily workshop and phone jam right after. Take advantage of those. It's going to set you up for success. There's Vector Connect, there's audios, there's videos, there's conferences, there's events. Again, our first live event as a Gulf Coast for the year is actually next Tuesday. So hopefully some of you guys are able to join us live. And then we're also going to be streaming for those who can't make it, or, just being a little bit more, just trying to stay away from people during the wintertime because of COVID, and I get that. All right. But we're excited about seeing people grow. There's Team Builder to put on your resume for recommending people to the team. You guys can win a scholarship. You guys can win a silver cup. There's extra prizes and cool things for you guys. I think about key staff, being a key leader. This is where we pick our interns from, our key performers. So you can ask your manager, what do I need to do to get on key staff? We meet with key staff Thursdays at 5 o'clock and give extra ammo before we go into the team meeting. Okay. Sales manager, moving on up and helping run the office and operations with recruiting and rep management. Branch manager, getting a chance next summer to actually do an entrepreneurship internship and have your own business. Like, that's incredible. District manager, and branch manager, like, they own their own business at 17, 18, 19 years old. They get to win the company trip. They make 50% commissions for 3 months. District manager, which I did for 10 years from 04 to 2014, you get growth opportunities, free BMW, $15,000 to sign for your first year to help you start your business. There's trips, it's fun, it's family. I mean, I love it. And that's why I decided to take a division manager role to really be able to support at a higher level. And so my job is to really work with and train our leaders, our future managers, leaders. And so I just wanted to share this with you guys because there's a lot of opportunity here. All right. You're doing something different. You're doing something that's not normal. You're doing something that requires more effort. It requires more discipline. It requires, emotional management, right? Where if you work at Walmart and ring up people at the register, you don't really have to think much, you just need to scan and hi, okay. But learning what you're doing is you're choosing a job that's harder than just working at the mall mindlessly, right? You're choosing something that's pushing you out of your comfort zone. You're choosing something that focuses on growth. And I want to commend you all on that because you know what? There's some people already who've given up on themselves and it sucks to see that. But it is what it is. And I just challenge you guys, give yourself a real shot. Cool. What's your real shot? Give yourself at least 2 weeks to start to learn, right? To start getting more comfortable and confident. Because guys, think about if you start anything new, it's kind of weird at first, right? And I joke around, but I'm watching my son learn how to, he wants to walk so bad, but he'll get up and he'll fall and then he'll get up again. And it's like, imagine if he just fell and was like, oh no, I'm never going to be able to walk. He just sat on his ass the rest of his life. It doesn't happen. So learn from babies, keep getting up. You're going to figure it out. The other day he couldn't figure out how to open this little box and he was getting so frustrated. He kept trying, he could have given up, but he figured it out. And then he was so excited. He kept opening it and closing it. And, Miles, he couldn't figure it out earlier. But it's about persevering, right? That's how you learn new skills. That's how you grow. So I just want to say that. And again, commend you guys for being here and choosing that and choosing growth and choosing a path that's not easy, but guys, that's the path that's most rewarding. Okay. And so I always tell my guys, it's not going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it. That's for damn sure. All right. And we have a blast here working together. So I want to go over real quick, just the base pay to review again, how the pay works, right? Your QPR sheets. So I know that I covered this in the training. You guys saw a video where I was talking about how this works on a weekly basis. But again, I just want to review this once again and make sure that we're all on the same page when it comes to what this looks like. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up so you guys can see this here. All right. And let me go ahead and share the screen. So for Christian, he looks like he completed 4 appointments. You want to do it on the bottom, completed 4 appointments, had 3 sales, 1998, or even before that, when he had just done the 3 appointments, he did 3 appointments, had 2 sales for about $1,000. So here's what happens. All right. We're going to add up the number of appointments you completed. Cool. So let's say this was his final sheet. We're going to look at this and we're like, all right, Christian did 4 appointments. Cool. So 4 appointments means that 4 times 18, we know 4 times 18 that he's going to make at least $72. Cool. But then when we look at the commissions, all right, he made well over 100. And actually in this specific example, all right, 1998, the first 1,000 would be at 10%, 998 would be at 15%. And so actually that would be $250. So what's higher? $72 or $250, right? Or $150, right? The commissions is higher. So Christian earned more on commissions than he did on base. So we actually don't owe him anything. So I'm like, high five, nice job. Let's do more demos so you can crush this week, right? So it's all a numbers game. Then let me go ahead and see somebody else. I'm just gonna randomly pick another one that was just submitted in here, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and open, let's see here, Victoria's. All right. So Victoria looks like she only got to complete 3 appointments. All right. Actually, I can't read all this because there's a lot of writing on here. So it is, by the way, I do want to say good job with that because it is good for us to be able to look at that and go, oh, okay. And make any adjustments based on what you turned in and say, okay, this is like know what happened, because we can problem solve with you guys a lot quicker when we know what happened on the appointment. So when you write stuff there, we can see that really easy. All right. And so bottom line, a lot of you guys didn't complete a lot of appointments. I know we're in the middle of finals. So I was gonna say like Kenzie's, but Kenzie's was 1 appointment. She was guaranteed 18. She sold 572. So she made $57.20. So her commission is higher. All right. I was trying to find one where we owe base pay. But if you had sales, all right, but your base was higher, this is what we do. All right. And I'll just show you an example here versus taking time to go through all, like find a QPR that is that. All right. But here's how this would work. I'm going to go ahead and clear all of this. All right. So let's say you did 5 appointments. Okay. And let's say your sales total was, 209 or something. Cool. Let's just use that as an example. So we know 5 times $18. All right. We look at that and we go, okay, 5 times 18. We know that this individual is guaranteed $90 for the base. All right. So I'm going to put this as the example here. So $90 is the guarantee. Now we're going to look at what did they make off of 209? Well, if it was one of you brand new who just started and you were at 10%, that means that 10% earnings would be $20, cool, and 90 cents. That's what earnings would be. All right. So I'm going to put sales earnings. So what would happen is on your actual check, here's what your check will look like in the bottom. It's going to say like commissions from sales 2090. Okay. Who pays for that? Vector Marketing does. And they're going to add that to your check. And then your staff, and it's going to come from my paycheck, all right, is going to add the base pay. And that's called minimum incentive. And so you'll see that on your check. And so in this case, we would go $90 that you were guaranteed minus $20.90. So I owe you $69.10. So you're going to see that. And then you're going to see total check $90. Cool. That's what that would look like. So again, whenever commissions from sales are always paid from Vector Marketing. Cool. So corporate, Vector Corporate is who pays your commissions from sales. All right. Minimum base pay, that is paid for by Kathy. All right. I pay, or your manager. All right. I'm going to put your manager. So if you're in a different office, whoever your manager, they're paying the base. But we have to make sure we review that each week. So if your paycheck's ever off, it's one of 2 things. Either one, like your commission, maybe your order didn't go through, they needed a billing address, something happened, and so that was off, or you didn't turn in your, you didn't review your qualified sheet and make sure that the manager added that to your check. Cool. Don't freak out. Let's review it with you. Let's fix it. But just if you guys are coming every Monday, 4 o'clock to do your payroll, there won't be an issue ever. Cool. Like unless someone just like has a shipping info is off, or they're missing like their house number, and then it'll just get added to your next check. But make sure you guys schedule a time to review your qualified presentation sheet before PSP starts at 4 or right after the kickoff. And then we're good. So we can submit that each week and we don't have any issues with that. Okay. So I just want to share that so you guys know again how that works. And don't forget to check in from every demo, regardless of sale. All right. We cannot guess how many demos you did. I mentioned this before, but 10% of your customers will never buy no matter what you do, even if, I was doing your presentation. All right. You do everything amazing and perfect. They're like, yeah, I just got new knives 2 years ago. I'm not ready to replace, or like, I just redid my whole kitchen or whatever. Like, you could do everything perfect. 10% don't buy. Cool. When you get really good, you can reduce it to 5%. Because you'll sell them something for a gift, not for them, but for a gift, and you'll learn to do that. And so you'll close the gap on that 10% that never buy. All right. 80% of people you guys show Cutco to always buy. All right. You could do everything. You could do like you're just reading through and you do everything wrong. And they're like, I want it. And you're like, what? And they're like, yeah, I want it. And you're like, but are you sure? And you could just do it. And they would just always buy. All right. Why? Why do you think they always buy? Because Cutco's freaking awesome, right? And they're like, oh my God, this is so great. I want it. So 10% always buy, even if you totally screwed up. And you guys could jot down 80% of your customers. Do you know who the sale depends on? You. All right. You. So just so you guys know that. So this is big. And I've showed my reps. I'm like, look, 10%, they just don't buy. All right. And you can reduce that a little. And there's some people that have like a 93 or 95% closing ratio. 10% always buy. All right. Even if you screw everything up. And then 80% depends on you. All right. And that's your skills and your attitude. All right. Like your confidence level. So I'll say that specifically, like your level of confidence, because that goes to your customers. And guys, what do you think happens? Go ahead and put in the chat box. What do you think happens the more skills you get? When you have more skills, what happens automatically? You get more confidence. And here's what's cool. When you combine the 80% that always buys with the 80% dependent on you, that's when you guys can go out and have a 90% plus, closing percentage. All right. Which, by the way, many of our top guys have that. All right. But there's a process, there's learning, right? So you guys being here today, you're going to learn stuff. You come Thursday, you're going to learn stuff. You come Saturday morning, you're going to learn stuff. Next Tuesday, you're going to have access to some of the best minds in Cutco Vector to pick their brain for an hour and get some of their best practices and best tips free. Okay. People pay a lot of money to get private coaching, to go to conferences, to go to events. I'm paying for this out of pocket as a gift to everyone as we kick off the new year to make sure that you get the support you need and have people to learn from. All right. So I'm going to give you 10, be ready to write because I'm going to go fast. I'm going to give you 10 game changer keys that my manager taught me to get more sales. So write down getting more sales, 10 keys. Number one, follow the manual. All right. It works. When you actually read from it with confidence, you're going to get them all the right information and it's going to help you maximize the results you have. All right. The difference between the above average reps and the below average reps is repetition and passion. Cool. Nadia has done more demos than you guys. She's more confident. All right. There's repetition. When she started, she was getting frustrated because she wasn't having like amazing results at the gate. It was like repetition. Let's go. You're going to get more and more comfortable every time you do it. Don't be so tough on yourselves, guys. Again, you're doing something brand new. You want to give yourself a chance to learn it and master it. Write down CPR training. All right. Closing, phoning, and recos. That's CPR. Closing, phoning, and recos. Guys, you want to get masterful in those. You want to get comfortable. You want to get lots of repetition in those areas because those are the main 3 parts of your business. Obviously, there's more. There's dropping down and this and that and customizing and upselling. But if you can really get comfortable with your closing, you can get really comfortable with your phoning script, get really comfortable with your recos, Oh, baby, we've got a foundation that's built to last that we can really build upon. All right. Number two, show qualified customers. Guys, single people in apartments aren't looking to make investments into their home yet. They don't have a home yet. All right. And so it's almost like you're teasing them because, of course, they're going to want it. And they're like, I want everything, but I just can't do this right now. All right. So married average age homeowners are, by the way, if you sell pools, fences, like anything for a home, refrigerators, like know this, the demographic, the group that is most likely to, this is the group that spends the most money on their homes, 30 to 60, cool? That's statistics, there's marketing research, 30 to 60-year-olds spend the most money on items for their home. So we're doing something for a home. We want to be smart with our business, right? If you were marketing and sorry for the, like women's products, right? Like tampons or whatever, like when you do your marketing commercials, you know that your target are women, right? Like not men. Now, are some men going to buy them and buy them for their ladies? Yes, they do. And thank you to all who do. But the commercials are targeted towards the women, right? And you can even watch. Has anyone ever seen a commercial where some are targeted for active women? Has anyone ever seen those? I was an athlete. And I remember seeing commercials where it's like, if you're active and moving, like this is the better ones, right? And so every product has a target market. That doesn't mean it's the only market, but it is the people who are most likely to purchase it. Cool. And that is where you want to spend your time and money, is advertising to your target market. So, and when you're showing your qualified customers, you want to make sure you also keep your customers engaged in their demo. All right. So this is, again, part of number 2, showing qualified customers. Make sure you're seeing max, make sure you show couples together, make sure you keep them engaged. How do you keep them engaged? All right. You guys can write in the chat box. Anybody, how do you keep customers engaged? There's a couple things you guys can do to keep them engaged. All right. And if you know, throw it in there. I want to see it. Use their name. All right, cool. People love to hear their names. That keeps them engaged. If I'm like, hey, Leslie, what? And they're like, huh? Right? Like it keeps them engaged. Say their name. All right. So say their name, ask questions. All right. Thank you, Raina. Nice job. So Raina, Carissa, ask questions. That keeps them engaged. All right. Complimenting. So just anytime, just say their names, ask questions. Oh, do you guys ever do this? Do you ever do that? That's the number one thing, is asking questions. And then yes, Autumn, jokes. I love it. Number 3, build rapport. All right. So again, number 1, follow the manual. Number 2, show qualified customers. Number 3, build rapport. I did not understand the importance of this. And Spencer, I don't know if you've made a list. I think it would be awesome to make a list of what workshops are happening each morning, just so people know different things they can be learning. But this is a huge one. It's probably the number 1 most impactful thing for every area of your business is rapport. Because when you build a relationship and they like you, they want to help you. And whether that's just giving you recommendations because maybe they can't buy today, or it's buying today versus later, or it's buying more now, or buying gifts for others they were going to buy from you instead of others. This is the world it is. Ask Nadia how much we worked on this her first week. I feel like every time we met for her first week, we were working on goals. Why? Because I know that if you're good at connecting with customers and sharing your goals and they're tied in, they want to help you. So make sure you guys have your first coaching session, because that is part of your first coaching session. Okay. So we can help you guys with that and dive in. But a couple points with building rapport, sincere thank you. All right. Sincere thank you before you dive in. So if I'm chatting with you and I'm like, oh, Camille, how's this? And how's that? And we're like chatting, and then we're going to start. And I'm like, oh, let me share some of my goals. Before you dive in, say, hey, by the way, real quick, I just wanted to stop real quick, Miss Camille, and just say, thank you so much for taking time out for me. Like, I know there are so many other things you could be doing right now and you're not. And I just really want to say, I appreciate it so much, because I know moms are super busy, and I just want to tell you how much I appreciate your time. Cool. All right, cool. So let me share some of my goals with you, right? And just that, I mean, can anyone tell me like why you think that would help? You can unmute yourself. Anyone want to tell me why you think that would help? That sincere thank you. Any new guys?
Hello, this is Leslie. Can you hear me?
What's up, Leslie? Tell me.
I believe that, as you share that thought, they might have more appreciation onto, where you're about to share, and they can have a little bit more attention onto, the subjects that you're going to talk about.
Awesome. Yeah. Question for you guys. Have any of you ever heard a mom say, nobody appreciates what I do? Raise your hand if you've ever heard a mom say that. Okay. Look at this group. All right. And by the way, if you've ever spent enough time around a mom, you've heard it. Like every mom has said that. So when you pause, and even if it's your best friend's mom, even if it's your mom's friend, even if it's whoever, Nadia, my mom 10 minutes ago, whoever it is, and you pause and you appreciate them, that mom, even though they're like, of course, honey, no problem. Inside, they're like, man, it feels good to feel appreciated. Okay. So I can't tell you how far that goes. So again, under build rapport, remember that customers rather buy from a friend than a salesperson. So you want to become friends and tie them into what you're doing. Sincere thank you. Pause before you dive in. And then making sure that as you're going through your goals, are you going through, you guys all want to make a slide deck, and I want to show you guys how to make the slide deck. It's super simple, and everybody wants to do one of these because this is going to make a big impact into your demo. All right. So being able to share your goals and what you're up to with your customer. So I'm going to show you Julian's, all right, real quick. So you can see his, but and you're going to see, he took his, and he's like, all right, he put like where he's going to school, what he's doing, just a little bit about him, and pictures of his family. So his little why Cutco, like why he wants to advance and things he wants to gain and put on his resume. He's got the holiday contest in here, and his current goal for the month, and what he wants to do and meet people all over the country. And then the sponsorship which has nothing to do with sales. Okay. And by the way, all he did was take mine and make a copy and make it his own. So you guys can definitely do that. And you want to put a holiday feel like he did. This doesn't have the holiday stuff. Actually, Cass, if you can do me a favor and update it, but regardless, whatever time of the year you're starting, and if you're seeing this, I'm going to share this with you guys. Here, copy link, anyone on the internet can view. I'm going to copy it and send you the link. Okay. But all you have to do is click file, make a copy, and tie your presentation. And then once you have the copy, you guys can remove my pictures, put your own stuff, but I'm just going to share with you mine. You guys can make your own, but it's just anything you share with them. It's just great to have pictures because you guys have heard a picture is worth 1,000 words, right? And so it really does make a difference. So you guys want to have this done before I would do this today. Take 10, 15 minutes. You can always keep updating it and changing it, but at least to get your first one done, get it done ASAP, because this gives your customers a visual, which is really going to help your whole presentation. Okay. Thermometer. You want to make sure that you guys are filling it out. And I'm going to show you guys, like, as I get sponsors, all right, when I have a sponsor, I want to make sure that I fill them in, because I saw on Julian's, his weren't filled in. I want to make sure you're all filling these in. So when somebody purchases, in my thermometer, I just, I can just copy another color, and I'm like, all right, one step closer. And I just put it in here to fill in the color. I just had a little square, so you can just copy it. Let's say somebody purchased, I'm like, all right, let's fill this in. So you can just copy something that already exists here in color and then just kind of stretch it out. But just so you can fill in that thermometer, like that's the only way I know how to do it. But you can also put their initials. When someone's a double sponsor or triple sponsor, you can literally just like copy one of these and then paste it. And I'm going to change it to Cassandra, right? Let's say Cassandra was my customer. And if I just like grab her box and just bring it down a little and bring it over, then she's on my next line. Cool. Because I want to fill up all 50 sponsors. So just make sure you guys are actually updating your slideshow as you go along. Like update your thermometer, update your fast start thermometer, right? Update your sponsorship so they can see where you're at. People love to see progress, right? When they see people moving forward, like they're excited to be a part of that, where someone's moving versus they're stuck somewhere, right? So show them progress and how you're doing so far. Number 4, have fun, especially during names and uses. All right. Attitude is key. You want to be yourself. You want to learn. You want to grow. You want to make mistakes. Enjoy the process. Corny knife jokes work. Be the highlight of their day. All right. I used to tell them, I'm like, the spatula, it actually can make music. Do you know like what's what note is most popular, with with customers, do you know what music note is the favorite? And they're like, huh? And I'm like, yeah, like what music note? I'm like, it's a B sharp, because Cutco will always be sharp. I heard that on a field training. I was like, that's so corny. But customers laugh. They love all the corny stuff. All right. So when you go, the more you field training, you'll hear like random jokes, corny jokes. Like those are awesome. Customers eat those up. All right. Number 5, set the stage for sets. All right. You want to have more sales? Set the stage for sets. Guys, our homemaker set, write this down. It's only 7 knives, 2 forks, and a spatula. All right. It's made to cover your kitchen basics. 7 knives, 2 forks, and a spatula. So this is very important for you guys, and I'll put it in the chat box. But I said this all the time to my customers. I'm like, it's 7 knives, 2 forks, and a spatula. It's made to cover your basics. This set was designed in 1949 to cover the basic needs. You have your air knife for all your air stuff. You have a small utility for small slicing. You have your spatula for sandwiches, desserts, things and dishes, spreading, and serving. You have your medium carving set for all your medium-sized fruits and veggies, leftover carving, small roast, that little chicken rotisserie you can buy at H-E-B ready to roll, or any, Whole Foods. And then you have the turning fork that can play with it when you're doing small carving, or the turning fork can be on its own. Stab, grab, serve, turn, works great. And the last things, you have your heavy-duty butcher, you have your delicate chopper for all your dicing and chopping, you have a bread knife, and you have your master carving set, okay? And so you just wanna make sure you learn about your tools, study them, cool? Watch other people do their demos. If you guys go on Vector Connect, there's a lot of great stuff that you can learn there to help you out, all right? I wanna give you 3 key phrases or 3 tips that my manager gave me that helped me so much sell sets, because I wasn't selling sets, I was selling pieces my first weekend, all right? So the first thing he told me is, anytime you're gonna say the word knife, say set instead, or set of knives, cool? So, hey, let me show you the sets. Let me show you the set. Oh, the next tool in your set. He's like, just say set, because you want them thinking about what? A set. So don't say knives, say sets. He said, or tool, tool in your set. And so that's the next thing. He taught me this, and this is specific when you do your names and uses and you're showing them each knife, write this down. The next tool in your set is, and you're gonna give the nickname. And you guys notice in your manual, it has a nickname for each one. And I'm gonna go ahead and pull it up so we can look at this together and show you exactly what this looks like when you're with a customer, okay? When you guys are going through names and uses. And Spence, I don't know if you want to come grab my phone. I have a lot of text. But as you're going through here, and first of all, so we tell them, hey, Ms. Jones, you can buy individual pieces, but most customers agree that over a lifetime, sets are a much better value. It's important to have the right tool for the right situation because of safety and efficiency. We have 2 larger set options for customers who love to cook called the Ultimate and Signature. By the way, let me pause real quick. If your customer loves to cook, tell them, hey, we have options for customers who love to cook like you called the Ultimate and Signature. I'll show you those in a couple minutes. All right. So if you know they like to cook, tell them, hey, like you, I'll show you that in a bit. But I'm going to start first, Ms. Jones, with the pieces in our basic set, which is the most popular. It's called the Homemaker Plus 8. It has the minimum number of tools to do 100% of the jobs in the kitchen as efficiently as possible. It's the best set for the average family, and it starts with your air knife, all right? So can you go ahead? So guys, do you see here? This is the nickname. Everyone see that? Okay, that's the nickname, is like what you see there in parentheses. The spatula, I just call it the sandwich maker, or you can call it the spatula spreader. Then you have the large utility knife. Then you have your heavy duty. Then you have your delicate chopper, which is over here. It says delicate chopper. Then you've got your bread knife, because that's what we call it, the slicer, the bread knife. You've got your spare tire. So that's what I'm saying with nickname. Cool. So when we start off, I say, so I'm going to go ahead and start with, we're going to start with the first one, which is your air knife. Okay. So go ahead and hit the space bar where you see paring knife. Do you see that? Okay, awesome. So this is our air knife. It has a long handle. It makes really, and so we're going to talk about that. All right. And then here's the other phrase that my manager had shared with me. He said, so you want to say the next one your set is your air knife. Da, 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 da. Do you ever cut? And so this was the other thing. He's like, do you ever cut blank, blank, blank? And you give all the uses. So these kind of go back to back. I just put it in the chat box. They go back to back. Do you ever cut blank or blank or blank, because my goal is that every time they see a set or they get, I show them a tool, excuse me, that they say, oh yeah, I use that. Oh yeah, I use that. Like that's my goal every time. Okay. So let me show you a couple because we're going to practice this right now, right after I finish this. So you're going to say, so the first tool in your set is the Cutco paring knife. It's the air knife. Okay, this is our paring knife. It's a long handle, makes peeling and paring comfortable. Go ahead and click play button on the so you can see it. All right. And so, Ms. Jones, do you guys ever cut like apples or strawberries? You know, maybe take out the top off of strawberries or bananas for cereal. Do you guys ever cut avocados open or like mangoes or do any cutting in the air? And they're like, oh yeah. And so it's like, do you ever? Can anyone tell me when you? And then and hold on, sorry. And then I say, okay, awesome. Yeah. Well, that's what you would use that for. But you're not going to use that on the board. That's why we have our trimmer. So the next tool in your basic set is the small utility knife, which is great for small fruits and veggies. Go ahead and click and play the video to see how smooth it is. All right. And by the way, do you guys ever cut tomatoes or ever cut cucumbers or oranges or lemons or limes? Or do you guys ever cut like, you know, raw chicken into strips or whatever? So like, as you're doing that, and I'm saying, do you ever cut this? And they're like, oh yeah, of course. I'm like, awesome. Well, that's what you want to use for all your citrus stuff. You can also use it for any small slicing that's fist size. Cool. And so the next tool in your set is the spatula spreader. Cool. It's our sandwich maker. So press play so we can watch this video. It's wide double D edge that lets you cut, spread, and serve. Do you guys ever cut like sandwiches or bagels or lasagna or cake? Do you guys like brownies or, you know, and they're like, and you just keep saying, do you ever cut this or this or that? And you do that until you get a yes. Once you get a yes, we move on. Cool, guys? Sometimes they say yes really quick. We don't need to keep going on and on. You can just be like, perfect. That's what you use that for. And you can also use it for X, Y, and Z. And so Ms. Smith, go ahead and go to the next one. The next one in your set is the large utility. And so this one, do you guys ever cut, like, do you guys ever buy those rotisserie chickens that are pre-made? Or do you ever cut pineapples or cantaloupes or eggplant? And I'm like, all right, cool. That would be great for all your medium-sized fruits and veggies, but it's also good for this. Cool. So the next tool in your set is, and guys, this right here, this key phrase, I remember selling my first set right after this, like it felt so good. You know, it was so smooth. And real quick, can anyone unmute themselves and tell me, why do you think, because there's a lot of psychology in these two phrases that kind of go together. So one is a transitional phrase, right? The next tool in your basic set is blank. The next tool in your basic set is blank. Like, what do you notice in there? Or, and then when you say the uses, instead of just saying, hey, Christian, this is used for da, 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 I'm saying, hey, do you guys ever cut this or this or this? Okay, great. That's what you would use that for. And you can also use it for X, Y, and Z. Why do you think doing that, like what psychology do you see in those phrases? Anyone, unmute yourselves, newer guys first, and then vets can jump in if you want.
Real world uses.
Okay, cool. What else? Why else do you think these phrases make a difference in selling more sets?
You're going to keep the customer engaged.
You're definitely more engagement. All right. Why else? Why do you feel these phrases help sell more sets?
If the customer can see themselves using it already, then they're more likely to buy it.
Yeah, they're like, oh yeah, I'm going to use that. Oh yeah, I'm going to use that. Oh yeah, I'm going to use that. Like that's the goal is they say yes every time. And they're like, yeah, I'm going to use that. Yeah, I'm going to use that. So then they're like, oh yeah, I need this, right? So you want them saying yes a lot. And so that's a psychological thing with closing as well. What else do you see psychological here?
Do you ever, that ever word is like, not every day, but ever, like at least
Yeah, exactly.
have
Good,
it there.
that's huge because now we're helping get that yes when you say, hey, do you guys ever cut this or ever cut that, right? Because sometimes they're thinking short term and we can't forget when people purchase Cutco, they're buying an investment that they're going to use every single day and have for the rest of their life, right? So it's a forever thing. So yes, that's huge. I'm glad you caught that. We're also seeing tool. You're not going to use one tool for everything, right? Any mechanic, carpenter knows there's different tools for different uses. Even a wrench, there's different size wrenches, right? And so you use different tools for different uses. And then we're also saying so there's ownership. Every time I'm like, hey, the next tool in your set, the next tool in your set, they're like, oh, what's the next tool in my set, Chris? What's the next tool in my set? Like that's what they're hearing psychologically on the other end. And then what word are we saying a lot? set, 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 because we want to sell a what? A set. All right. So that's something I remember when I was new, I learned that, and they're like, say set a lot, even if it's like, oh, what a beautiful set, of furniture, what a beautiful set of kids, like when I was in a live demo, and it would just make them laugh. But just say sets a lot. All right. You want them thinking about sets, but that's an easy place in your demo for you guys to be able to do that. Okay. So what we're going to do real quick is I'm literally going to give you guys 5 minutes to do your names and uses. Open myvectordemo.com right now. All right, everyone open myvectordemo.com right now, please. All right, we're going to put you guys into pairs of 2 or, ideally 2 people. And what you're going to do is you're going to bounce back and forth. Okay. And what I mean by that is that you're going to do a different one. All right. So you're reading with a partner. Let me see here to show you guys what I'm talking about. Everybody needs to scroll right now, pull this up so you don't lose any time to hear when we're about to show the homemaker set. Cool. So one partner is going to say the first paragraph here, and you're going to say, so the first tool in your set is your air knife. Cool. The Cutco paring knife. It has a long handle. It makes film paring, whatever. And then you're going to say, do you guys ever, cut small jobs like apples or strawberries or banana, or cut anything in the air, like maybe an avocado or a mango, and they're like, oh yeah, we do that. I'm like, awesome. I'm like, and finish that. And then the next partner is going to say, the next tool in your set is your small utility, trimmer, and you go through that. Do you ever cut cucumbers or oranges or lemons or limes or okay? And when they say yes, you say, awesome. That's what you would use that for. And you can also use it for XYZ. Everyone got that? Write that down. So whenever they say yes to something, you say, great. That's what you would use that for. Cass, if you could put that in the chat box. Great. That's what you would use that for. And you can also use it for X, Y, and Z. Cool. And you're just going to keep bouncing back and forth until I stop you guys. But I just want you guys to kind of get that rhythm of saying the next tool in your set is blank, and then explaining it and saying, oh, Miss Stephanie, do you guys ever cut this or ever cut this or ever cut that? And whenever they say yes, then you say, okay, great. That's what you would use that for. And you can also use it for X, Y, and Z. Cool. So we're going to go ahead and open your breakout rooms. I might move you into another one briefly if you got put with a manager, and you might have 3 people. So just go in a circle if you have 3 people in your group. Okay. But I'm going to go ahead and move you guys into rooms, and then I'm going to be doing some shifting. So go ahead and open your rooms so you guys can go into a room with a manager or other people, and they can work with you on it. So rooms are open. All right. Rooms are open. Let's get to your rooms. All right. Rooms are open. Let's get some practice up in here. All right, you guys join your rooms so we can get some practice up in here. Join your rooms. All right. Good, join your rooms. Perfect. Okie dokie. So I know you guys didn't get a chance to do a ton of it, but I just wanted to get you guys integrating that. Cool. And you can, the more you practice it and the more you do it, the more comfortable you get. But just wanted to give you guys that. All right. So I've given you the first 5. Number 1, follow the menu. Number 2, show qualified customers. Number 3, build rapport. Number 4, have fun, especially during names and uses. Number 5, set the stage for sets. Now let's go through the other 5. Number 6 is nail the close. All right. Nail the close. And so this is really important. So when you're doing your demo, you've got to be very confident in this. So if I'm closing Okay, so Ms. Nadia, Mr. Ricky, let me review why so many people choose to invest in Cutco. You always have sharp American-made knives that are comfortable, safe, and sanitary. Cutco's guaranteed to last forever, so it's the last set of knives you'd ever buy. And Cutco saves a lot of money. Most customers who buy Cutco eat out less. And even if they just save $60 a month, that's $720 this year. And over 25 years, you'll save over $18,000, you know? So that's pretty cool. So there's several reasons why so many people, so many customers choose sets. Cutco sets have the right tool for the right job. Cutco sets have a built-in discount, so it's cheaper. Sets come with a free cutting board and other free stuff. And sets are much safer because they come in a block or tray. And we have monthly, interest-free monthly investment options, so you don't have to pay for it all at once, all right? So we're gonna go ahead and exit the full screen. You can just escape, hit the escape button, and it should bring you down to a slideshow called Set Options. Go full screen on that. Let me know when you're ready. I need a customer actually to respond to me. So Cass, you're gonna be my customer during this, all right? All right, awesome. So let's go to the first slide where you're gonna see a Wusthof and Schön brand comparison, okay?
Right.
And by the way, guys, if you guys haven't noticed, I'm just reading. You could be reading along. I'm going to go ahead and share just so you guys see what I'm doing. But this is, I would not be sharing this with a customer. I just would be on with them like I just was you, but you should just have this right up. All right. So, so Miss Cassandra, when it comes to high quality cutlery, it's like anything else. There's a wide variety of quality and prices. Cutco's top rated, so we only compare to the highest quality brands, all right? So I have a price comparison for our top competitors, Wusthof and Schön. Have you heard of them before?
I don't think so.
Okay, so if you go to like Macy's, Williams-Sonoma, Sur La Table, Bed Bath & Beyond, like these are high quality sets made overseas, and they're two of the top selling brands in stores, cool? So each brand, Miss Cassandra, has different types of sets which range in price, and Wusthof is the most popular. So the Wusthof set is $3,435, and that's their top one. Cool. It would be like their 7 series. Like if you were looking at BMW, how there's like 3, 5, 7 series. 7 is their best, and it's obviously the most costly as well. And so this is their top of the line. Sometimes you can find it on sale for $2,000, like right now during the holidays. And there are some major differences between these brands and Cutco. So Wusthof, Miss Cassandra, has mostly straight edges, so they need to be sharpened, which is a hassle. They're not recommended for the dishwasher, and the warranty is on manufacturing defects only. In comparison, Cutco has our unique wedge lock handle, exclusive double D stay sharp edge, and we have our 4-part forever guarantee, including our free sharpening. Cutco owners will tell you it's 10 times better than any knives they've ever used. Just considering the guarantee and unique features, most people would agree Cutco is at least twice as good as Wusthof. Well, Ms. Cassandra, when something offers twice the quality and value and lasts forever, you'd expect it to be at least twice the price. And at twice the price, you're talking over $4,000 for a set of Cutco. So it would kind of be like buying a really nice refrigerator or home appliance, or like really nice set of Snap-on tools or Craftsman tools for the house. All right, but can you do me a favor and write that down, write down 4,000 on your paper?
Yes, let me go ahead and do that.
Got it?
Yeah, we got it.
Okay, so as I said earlier, our Homemaker Plus 8 is our most popular set. It's perfect for families that cook 2 to 4 times a week. It has the 10 basic tools I explained earlier, the 8 table knives, the wood block, and the sharpener for straight edges. We also have the Homemaker set without the table knives. Now, Miss Cassandra, if you were considering a set of Cutco, would you prefer the set with the table knives or steak knives?
I would say probably the one with the table knives.
Okay, great. So the great thing is that it doesn't cost $4,000. So go ahead and cross out 4,000 on your paper.
Okay.
Got that?
Mm-hmm.
And then right underneath that, can you write down 3,435? 3,435.
Okay.
Okay, that's the retail price for the Wusthof. Cool. It doesn't cost as much as that. Go ahead and cross that out.
Okay.
And then the Homemaker Plus 8, you can go ahead and write this right under. It's $1,326. $1,326.
All right, we wrote it
You
down.
got that?
1326, yeah.
Yep, and that's paid in full and it does include shipping. But most of our customers take advantage of our 5-month interest-free easy pay option, which is actually only $289 today and includes tax. So if you can do me a favor and put a line through the 1326 and to the side of it, put $289, that's the deposit.
And deposit.
Mhm.
Okay.
And go ahead and circle 289. Let me know when you got that.
We got that.
Okay. And then do me a favor and right under that, put down or next to that, put $72 a week. All right. So that's, and you can put their budget, like just put a little note, but you'd want to budget, put aside $72, or excuse me, sorry. Yeah, $72 a week is what that would come out to in the budget. And if you can put a little note under that, put $36 each. $36 each. Cool. And so, Ms. Jones, I just always love my customers to know, like, you know, what it would look like if you guys, you know, wanted to break it down into the budget. So basically for you and Mr. Jose, it'd be like $36 each is what you'd want to put aside. Okay. So we have something called our buy now bonus. And so we have a bonus where if you buy now, I can give you an entertainer pack or super shears for free, which I know you really like those. So Miss Cassandra, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask you, would you like to try out the Homemaker set today and get your free gifts?
I'm not sure if I want to do it today.
Okay, where you're gonna say yes today. I'm gonna do drop down.
Oh, okay. We're gonna do yes.
So, but a lot of times, you know, they'll either give you a knee-jerk reaction. And so let's say she said, I need to think about it, right? I don't want to get it today. Okay, well, Miss Cassandra, I totally understand. 1326 is a lot of money to be impulsive, right? Like I'm sure you didn't put away a couple grand waiting for the knife girl. So that's why most customers take advantage of our 15-day trial. And it's 15 business days, 3 weeks. So if you don't love it after a few weeks, you can send it back and get a full refund. So with the 5-month plan, you can just try it out for only $289 and just see how you like it. How does that sound?
That does sound better. So
Okay, cool. Well, awesome. And then, you know, we'll go from there. But I want to ask real quick, and I'd love a couple people to tell me from you watching me do it, what do you do? What did you notice different from when you do your clothes and when I did my clothes? So I'd love to hear from like 2 or 3 people. I'd love everyone to write in the chat box, but go ahead and unmute yourself. I'd love to hear some differences that you saw from when I did it and from when you've done it this weekend.
You sound like really confident in your answers, and even if they have their no, then you can still continue going.
Okay, awesome. So confidence, that by the way, Kenzie, that's a huge factor. And I remember when I started, my manager said, fake it till you make it. Like just a little subtle head nod. If you're on a video chat, they don't see you reading. I'm reading and they know I'm reading. I told them I'm going to read, but I'm like, oh, and this and that. And you do a subtle head nod. It shows confidence, just your nonverbals by having a subtle head nod. All right. What else did you guys notice? I saw some more confidence, sounded natural, but did you guys see how I was just reading? Like there were some extra things that were there, but and that comes through experience, right? And I'll share some of those with you here in a second. What else?
You having them write it down. I forgot about that and I didn't have them write it down. I just told them the prices.
Oh my God.
Just was reading.
That makes a world of a difference, right? When they can see it. Like I want them looking at this paper when we're done. And so I'm guiding them and I'm telling them, and I'm going to go ahead and clear all this. I'm guiding them and I'm like, hey, can you please write down 4,000 on the paper? And I paused. Did anyone notice that? How I paused? And I was like, let me know when you're ready. Like I didn't move on until they wrote it, right? And then I said, hey, go ahead and cross that out on your paper, you know? And they're like, okay. So I want them to cross it out. And then when I got to the next one, I told them 3,435. Can you please write that down underneath it? That's the Wusthof. It's actually not as much as that. All right. And then I'm like, all right, great. Can you go ahead and cross that out, please? And they're like, yeah, sure. Yeah, oh, sorry. So then I told them to cross that out. And then I told them, hey, can you do me a favor and go ahead and write down 1326, okay? 1326. I'm like, yep, and that's in full and it does include the shipping, da, da, da. And then I told them about the interest-free investment. And so I'm like, hey, you could pay for it all now, but most people use our investment, you know, like go ahead and put an arrow, and I guide them. I say, hey, put an arrow and go ahead and write down 289, okay? And go ahead and circle that, right? And I told her, go ahead and circle that because that's the amount that you'd be paying. I'm like, so you can cross off the, 1326 because, you don't have to pay for it all right now. And then I told her, and then if you can do me a favor and just, write down near that $72 a week for the budget, that's what you'd want to put aside. And if you can put right underneath that $36 each, okay? And you could say with a smiley face, but when I draw it, I always write that down for them. Because when they're thinking, I want them thinking and staring at this paper and going, can I do it? Can I swing it? Like, that's what I want them doing. Cool? Everyone got that? So take a screenshot of this if you want, because if you're physically writing it, if you're on a live demo, right? Or if you're, doing it on Zoom and you want to write it and just show it in the camera, that's another option. Okay. So, if you ever have somebody like Kenzie that, is like, oh, it's okay. I'm like, okay, well, no worry. I'll write it down. I would do your demos on Zoom so that way you can see them, see their face. But then you can just write it down. All right. And ideally use like a marker because that way they can see it easier. Pen is harder to see over the computer. Okay. So I would write that down and say, so Miss Kenzie, you're looking at, again, and I just show it to them and I'd say, so you'd be looking at 4,000, kind of like buying a really nice refrigerator, really nice set of tools, really nice whatever. And they're like, oh, okay, cool, right? But if you're live, like you were live with your parents, Kenzie, you write it down, cool? You don't need them to write it, you write it. If you're over the phone, that's where you have them write it. Cool, Kenzie? So like, since you were live with your parents, that's weird. If you're like, you write this, or like, I don't want to write. So you write it for them. All right. So you're like, hey, 4,000. And then you're like, hey, can you go ahead and cross that out? I'm like, actually, it's not that much. 3,435. I'm like, I don't know if you remember, but this is the price of the Wusthof and the retail price. And actually, it's actually not as much as that either, although it would be if it was sold in stores. Actually, Auntie, the Homemaker Plus 8 is actually only $13.26. Cool. And you could pay in full for it, Miss Stephanie, but I'm assuming you didn't put away a couple grand waiting for the knife curl. So what most of our customers do is they use our 5-month interest option. And so it's interest free. All right. And basically what you would put down is $289. All right. Is what you would put down today. And you actually have 15 business days. And I always like to write down 3 weeks to try it and see how you like it. Some of you guys are more advanced and have learned the deposit program. I'm going to teach that Thursday in advanced training too. Okay. So if you're like, wait, but you do more, this is the most basic state. All right. So 3 weeks, try it out. So I want them to know that. And I'm like, and after the 3 weeks, like you can pay it off or it's just the same amount each month. Cool. So basically what you would want to put aside, Miss Kenzie, in the budget would be $72 a week in the budget, which would come out to $36 each. Cool. That's what it would come out to. So just so you guys can see it, this is what it would be right there. All right. So we have something called a first call special. And by the way, if I'm on Zoom, if they didn't write it, if I'm writing it for them, you just leave that sucker up. You want them staring at it. That's why I'd rather they just write it down. If you're on a live demo, all I'm going to do is place this right in front of them. Cool. Like, so they could look at it. So I'm like, this is what it would come out to, the deposit. And so you could try it out. So we have something called first call special, and first call special is where you could actually get, free gift if you got it today or bonus, bonus items, right? And so you guys are talking with them about the buy now bonus. So you're like, we have a buy now bonus. You can get some free stuff if you want to get it today, and then you just want to make sure you always ask with confidence, do you want to go ahead and do that today? All right. So just some simple keys to a great close. All right. And I'll give you guys, you know, 5 keys. You saw me do it. All right. And I just want to tell you guys this. Number 1, memorize the script. Like, just get comfortable, say it a lot. Sing it to yourself, record yourself singing it, record yourself saying it. I said that in training, but just get comfortable with it because it helps you build more value when you're more confident and you're more comfortable. Number 2, with keys to a great close is building value, you know, building up. Like, this is the top stuff in stores, you know, and so building up Wusthof and Schoen. And then when you go into that comparison, so that page 8, all right, that part is all about the comparison and building them up. Number 3, saying prices properly and make sure they write it down. So say prices properly and make sure they write it down. Okay. That's super important. Number 4, all right, ask for the order with confidence. All right. Ask for it expecting a yes. If you do that, you're going to get a lot more. And I just put it in the chat box. All right. But ask for the order. You have to be able, it's okay if they say yes or no, but you have to be comfortable and confident. And number 5 is smile and nod. You have to be confident. Don't be awkward, relax. Okay. Cutco rocks. It's awesome. And if they don't get to have it today, that sucks for them. All right. Number 7, all right, of your 10 keys, objection cycle. This is how to get whatever you want, whenever you want, from whoever you want. We're going to hit this hard on Thursday in advanced training too, but it's your objections naturally have it in there. And you could write this down. These are the 4 steps to the objection cycle. All right. Is to agree. Then you say, but however, talk logically and ask again. I just put it into, you know, the chat, but again, there's 4 steps to everything in the objection cycle, and you guys will use this in your whole life. All right. And so I'll go ahead and put it right here. But these are, you know, agree, and agree doesn't mean like, it means see where they're coming from. Like, oh, I totally see how you could feel that way. Right. Like, that's what it means when it says agree. All right. Is to empathize, not sympathize. All right. So objection cycle. These are your points here. So agree / you know, see where they're coming from. That's where they need to feel it. All right. See where they are coming from. So for instance, if a customer says to me, oh, I have to ask my husband, right? I could disagree and say, no, you don't. You can't make decisions on your own. All right. We're not going to do that. We want to, it's true. So they say, I need to ask my husband. I'm like, oh, I totally get it. I'm like, most couples like to make decisions together. Right. And so I'm going to agree and see where they're coming from, but I'm like, but however, all right, that first call special is actually only available when you're able to get it on the first time. I'm like, so whether you put the deposit to try it out or, you know, get something smaller to reserve your first call, that'll put you in the system so you can always get the deals. You know, so would you feel comfortable putting the $289 deposit and trying it out for 3 weeks and then go from there? You know, and so it's just kind of a, but however, talk logically. So agree, see where they're coming from, but however, talk logically, whatever you want to say, and then ask again. Okay. So if you guys look at your objections, all right, and you can start practicing this on your own prior, but this is something that we're going to hit hard on, actually, we're going to hit this hard on, Thursday. All right. And actually right now, and if you have time, anyone who's watching this, if you can role play through here, I recommend just go with a partner or with yourself and let's get through this. So when someone says, oh, it's too much or I can't afford it, you know, I completely understand. So that's where you want to agree with them, right? Versus like, no, it's not, right? So I completely understand. 1326 is a lot all at once. That's why most of our customers split up over 5 months interest free, and it would actually only be 280. How does that sound? And so you just go through there. All right. And actually, I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes to roll through with partners. I'm going to put you in 3 or 4. Just keep going. Cool. One person say it, the other one answer it, and then the next one go. And the other one answer it and then go. So I'm going to put you into groups really quick so you guys can just read through them, because maybe some of you guys haven't looked at this yet, you know? And so I want to make sure that you look at it. So again, we set you guys up for success. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and create some rooms right here. to have you guys all practice. So let's do that. Roll around. Some of you guys managers, you might be in a room with multiple people. I'm going to move you guys around, but go ahead. Rooms are open. Just the objections right there, the knee-jerk reactions, respond to that, and then go to the next one. All right. So go ahead, join your room real quick.
For them to understand what's happening. So exactly right, Moses.
All right. Awesome, Moses. We missed that part, but it's all right. So cool. So I just wanted you guys to just kind of see that. Again, I'm giving you a lot of information, but then it's that self-study. It's not just what we do together, but like come in the mornings at 10 a.m., get extra tips, start implementing this stuff, learning this stuff. It's going to make a really big difference. Okay. Number 8 of your 10 tips is dropping down. All right. Here are my tips for dropping down. We're going to hit this hard on Thursday in advanced training too, but you have got to take your time dropping down. All right. It's like learning how to go downstairs. You want to go one step at a time. You want to hold on to the rail, which is your manual. You don't want to run. All right. Take your time with it and just making sure that you're calling in as you go throughout. We want to, write this down. Closing is finding your customer's comfort zone. Cool. And your job is to find what's best for them today. All right. Today. I rather sell a trimmer today than have a promise for a homemaker on Friday. Cool. Now, what I do know is that I'm probably going to sell them a starter set because those are easy. I mean, if someone's looking at buying, let's say Stephanie, someone said, oh, I'm just going to buy one knife, right? And they're going to spend, $90 on a knife today. They're buying a Petit Carver or something, right? And they're spending $90 to $110, or, even if they're buying a smaller knife, let's say, and then we're saying $70 to $110 on one piece today. I know that it's way better for a customer to get a set, because instead of one piece, so let's say this right here is we're just going to write here, a knife. All right. So whether it's a trimmer or it's a Petit Carver or it's whatever, they wanted, but they're getting one tool to just reserve their first call. I'm like, hey, Ms. Jones, can I show you how you can get a really cool deal? And like, I'm going to show you guys in a moment the trade-in special on a on a studio set. Okay. And the customer can get like a studio +4. They can get a discount, and it's $465, and so with taxes and everything, will end up, their deposit is going to end up being somewhere around, $90, but if someone was going to buy a Petit Carver today, I'm like, hey, Miss Jones, there's a deal. Okay. And it actually has that trimmer you wanted, and it has the Petit Carver, and it has a spatula, and it has a paring knife, and it has 4 table knives, and it has a cutting board, and it has a block. And this bundle over here, okay, Ms. Jones, just so you know, this bundle is actually over a $600 value. All right. It's actually over $700 value. All right. Is what this is. And actually, if you wanted to try that out, we have deals for the holidays, and this actually comes out, you can write this down. It comes out to $465, okay, is what it is instead. And what this would mean, like after, tax and stuff, is that your deposit is going to end up being about $95. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and just put that there. So if you do $95 today, and again, you can just tell them over the phone to write down, hey, that's $95, but $95 deposit. All right. And this is 100% refundable, right? But they're trying it out, putting a $95 deposit, and if they did keep that and they wanted to stick with that, then cool. That means later, guys, just so you know, all they're putting aside a week is less than $24 a week as a family, which comes out to $12 each. Cool. So I just know that they get a lot more for their money. Instead of just getting one knife, Now they're getting the trimmer and the petite carver and the spatula and the paring and 4 table knives and a cutting board and a block, which is over a $700 value. And they're spending the same amount today, sometimes less, or sometimes $5 more, but they're getting so much more for their money. And monthly, that would be 12 bucks each, or 24 bucks, you know, as a household. So we have something for everybody. So it's all about helping them find their comfort zone and finding what's best for today. Cool. So if they don't want to swing a homemaker, we want to know as we drop down, is it more than they wanted to spend today, or is it more tools than they wanted to start with? Cool. So basically, is it a price or a piece thing? Because if it's a price thing, you guys want to use the trade-in special I'm about to show you. Cool. If it's a piece thing, we want to drop down to the next set, and we just want to find which set is going to be better for them. Cool. Because that's going to be different for everybody. But again, just take your time dropping down. Number 9 is the secret weapon, which I'm about to show you. All right. It's called the trade-in special. This is how to sell a set every freaking time. All right. Or almost every time. Like, it was very rare I didn't sell a set. And that's because I used the heck out of this trade-in special, and I learned how to show customers the bundles, because they get so much more for their money. And so it's just better for them. So making sure that, are you sharing with your customers the value of sets, how it's safer in a block, how it's discounted, it's cheaper. It has a storage option, right? They get free stuff. This is huge. All right. So who here has ever heard of like a car dealership doing a special where you can trade in your car and you get a credit for your car towards your car purchase? Raise your hand if you've ever heard of that you can trade in your car at a car dealership and you get credit for your vehicle. Cool. Sometimes it might be $500 to $1,000. Sometimes it might be $2,000. Sometimes it could be $10,000 or $15,000. Depends how nice your car is, right? But why? Does anyone know? And you can put in the chat box. Do you know why they have that option? Like, why do they have the trade-in special? Like, why is this a thing at car dealerships? Anybody know? You can unmute yourself. Anybody? Why do they have that?
Maybe so you can have the opportunity to get their product, and like because I
Yeah.
know like for my aunt, she like I already have a thing, and so I wish I would have known about this. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And you'll sell more of these for sure with that. But yeah, what she just said, like, they want you to buy their product, right? Like their car, like they know you want that new Xfinity, you know, whatever. But what objection could you give? I already have a car, right? So the dealership is saying, hey, Jessica, I know you already have a car, but I know you want that new car, right? So if you trade in your car, we'll give you credit towards your new vehicle. Everyone got that? So that's how car dealerships sell cars all the time, even when people already have cars, because they trade them in and they get a new one. Cool? We do the same thing. Customers can trade in their old stuff. Check this out. And right now, because of COVID and stuff, it's an honor system, right? And we tell them like, hey, drop it off at a Goodwill or wherever they want, a church, Salvation Army, Goodwill. If it's good, it's going to get donated to people in need. Cool? If it's really crappy, they're just going to recycle it. All right. So it's going to get given to people in need, or it's going to get recycled. We always, whenever we collect old knives, we always donate them to charity. And if they're shitty, again, they get recycled. But we're going to give them credit. All right. So how about, all right, who here thinks they could have probably sold a homemaker if you told them that they could trade in their old stuff and save? Listen to this. They could either get a discount on their homemaker and save $190 discount, or they could pick out $375 of whatever they want for free. Who thinks they might have sold an extra homemaker this weekend? When I learned this, I was like, shit, I totally sold more. And by the way, if there's anyone you want to go back to from the weekend and show them this, I can approve it. Moving forward, it's only on the first call. But since you guys didn't know this, they can do this. And guys, this helped me. So this is really good for two people. Cool. It's good for the person who says, oh, I already have knives right now, or I already have good knives right now. Like, and so for that person, it's great to, I remember doing this with a customer, and, you know, the wife they both loved Cutco. They loved it. And the wife goes, yeah, but honey, we can wait. Our knives are still good for now. And so in my head, I was like, ding, 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 trade-in time. So like anytime they say like, oh, my knives are fine right now or whatever, trade-in's perfect. but in my head, I already knew that. And she's like, don't you think we can wait? And he's like, well, yeah, but and then he said this, he goes, I said, well, by the way, guys, we have something I didn't tell you about called a trade-in special. Cool. But I told them, I said, do you like Cutco? They said, yes. I'm like, is it definitely what you want to get in the future? Or actually, no, the husband said this to her. I started using this on my future demos, but he goes, honey, do you like Cutco? She said, yeah. He said, and Laura, she said, yeah, of course. It's amazing. He said, whenever we're ready to buy new knives, is this what you want? She goes, absolutely. I mean, it's guaranteed forever. Like, yeah. And he goes, cool. When we buy them, how long are we going to have them? And she looked at him funny and she was like, forever? He's like, yeah. So whether we buy them 10 years from now or today, we're going to have them forever. So we might as well just get them today. And I said, actually, we have a trade-in special. You guys can trade in your old set, donate it. It goes to charity, and you guys can actually save on the complete set. You can actually get a discount of $300 off, or you can pick out up to $600 of whatever you want for free. If you wanted to do that, pick out a bunch of accessories and never have to worry about it again. And Lori was her name. And Lori was like, really? And Dan's like, let's do it. Let's do it. He's like, I think we should do it. She's like, yeah, okay. And they traded in their set and they ended up getting a really, they picked out $600 of free stuff. Cool. But that's what made the difference. So when someone like their knives are fine, or they're just on the edge, right? They're like, oh, maybe, oh, I don't know. I'm like, well, is that a set you really like? Oh, I love it. I'm like, well, hey, do you have any old kitchen stuff that you could probably do without? And they're like, yeah, I do, Christian. You're like, great. I'm like, well, we have a food can drive and we have a trade-in special, but we do a lot for charity. So if you are willing, and it's an honor system, but if you are willing to donate your old stuff and give it to charity, you can actually, on that set, the Homemaker, you can actually save $190, nothing free, but you get a $190 discount, or you could pick out $375 of whatever you want for free. And that's where I remember, Sergio, he used that and he was like Homemaker, Galley Essentials, and he used the trade-in special and crushed that week. This was huge for Babadan. He sold so many trade-in specials. He sold 4 complete sets with the trade-in special, and people traded in their stuff. And that was half of his 20,000 in sales, was just using that trade-in special with people that already had really good stuff. So I love people that already have great products. I love people that have Henckels or Wusthof or Schoen, because what I know is they like good quality, right? And then what I know is they know quality costs money. So they're in one of 2 places. They're either ready to replace or they're not. Cool. If they're ready to replace, boom, trade in, done. All right. If they're not ready to replace, then I'm going to show them all the gifts and accessories and hook them up with other stuff of Cutco. And when they're ready, then they'll buy a set. Cool. So that's something that I really love because it makes a really big difference. So I'm going to give you guys the trade-in special right now. I'm going to put it into the chat box so you guys can see how it works. But Moses, I just wanted to explain it first before you guys got distracted and didn't listen to me. All right. So I'm going to go ahead. I just put it into the chat box and I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so you guys can see it. And we're going to practice this really fast. All right. But this here, can I actually have someone go ahead and read out loud? Any volunteer to read out loud? Anybody? Let me open this. You guys are gonna make me lose my voice today. All right, I'm gonna call someone. Christian, go. Oh, Kenzie. Is that Kenzie?
Yes.
All right, go for it. Go ahead and read that part.
Our secret weapon is a special deal/trade-in special for sets with table or steak knives. It's a program where you offer a customer a great discount for trading in some old knives, but no free stuff. Or pay regular price and get a bunch of stuff for free.
Everybody write this down. Free stuff is always better than a discount. Everyone write that down. Free stuff is always better than a discount. It's better for you and it's better for your customer. Cool? All right, go ahead.
May I go?
Oh.
So customer says,
Do I read it?
yeah.
Okay, I love it, but the price is too high. That's too much money. And I already spent money on these knives. I already own Pentacles,
Wulsdorf,
Wulsdorf, or
yeah. So
sure.
the German or Japanese ones, cool. And so this is the actual verbiage when you're with the customer. So like, let's say it's more than they wanted to spend, or they're not sure, they're kind of on the bubble, but they really like it. You're like, hey, so you like it, but you feel the price is too high, or hey, you like it, but you know, your knives are fine right now, like whichever one. You're like, all right, well, Miss Jones, we do have a special, I think you'll really like that. And here's how it works. It's kind of like when you go to a dealership and you want to buy a car, but you already have a working car. What do they let you do with your car? Yeah, trade it in. And so you can do the same thing here with your knives. What you can do is trade in a few of your old knives, and we give you a major discount on a set of Cutco. So instead of, and guys, everyone look right now. Do you see for every set, it has the savings number or the free stuff? Everyone see that? Savings number or the free stuff. And again, what's always better? Free stuff, all right? Better for you, better for them. But it tells you for every set the amounts right there, all right? So I should probably just have highlighted that. But I'm like, okay, so Miss Jones, with that homemaker, instead of with the complete set, instead of $27.39, you can get the set for only $24.35. So that's actually a savings of $304, or you can pay the regular price and get $575 for free. Does that option sound better? All right, I want them to pick the free stuff, all right? If they like the homemaker, I'm gonna say, Miss Jones, so instead of the $13.26 price, you can get this set today for only $11.35. That's a savings of $191. Or you can pay regular price and get $375 for free. Does that option sound better? And they're like, ooh, yeah, let's do free stuff. All right. So that's what you say. This here, let me ask you guys, if somebody picks the free stuff, can anyone respond? What do you do when you write it up? If someone picks out $400 of free stuff, what do you do? Anybody? You bonus it all. You just put homemaker, you pick all the stuff, and you put bonus, 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 right? You just give it to them for free. So that's easy. So if they buy a homemaker with $400 for free, you go Trenton, you put on the homemaker, you pick out all the stuff they want for free, and then you click it all as bonus. Everyone got that? That's normal. If Leslie, they pick the discount instead, this shows you how to put it on in your app, in the Cutco app. You're going to put quantity 1, 1813 CB. That means that that's a trade-in ultimate. You're going to put quantity 2, 1759. That's part of the price. They're paying for 2. And then you're putting quantity 10, 1759, and you're putting those for free. You're going to bonus them. Okay. So if you guys notice how the company gives a discount for trade-in is that they just charge them for some of the table knives and give them the rest for free. Everyone see that? We charge them for some, we give them the rest for free. That's how we get the discounted price. And so that's why they can either get a great discount for trading in old knives, but no free stuff, okay? Or pay regular price and get a bunch of stuff for free, okay? So because if we do the discount, we're already giving stuff for free, so we can't give more. All right. So again, you don't have to worry about all the details with that. Just know that people can trade in, they can do savings or free stuff. And if they do the savings, this is how you put it in your Cutco app, and your manager can help you with that if you have any questions with it. Okay. So we're going to role play this real quick. I'm going to give you guys 5 minutes in your groups of 2 or 3. If we can please have, I do need managers. If you guys can help me and you can hop around and see if anyone has any questions. Cass, I'm going to make you co-host so you can hop around as well. Autumn, I'm going to make you a co-host so you can help hop around if anyone has any questions. Okay. You'll be able to go from room to room as a manager. So you guys can help me check up on these guys. And Nadia, I'm going to go ahead and make you one as well. I don't know if you're able, I know you're balancing a couple things right now, but if you're able to hop around and check these guys out. So everyone should have your script. Again, it's in the chat if you guys didn't get it from the chat. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and recreate the rooms, and managers, you guys can hop around and answer any questions they might have. Okay. So rooms are open. Let's rock and roll. Join your rooms, join your rooms. All right, so we went through, I told you guys 10 things to impact sales. We've gone through a lot of information to rewind, review, follow the manual, show qualified customers. Are you building rapport and sharing goals? Are you having fun? Are you actually setting the stage for sets? Are you nailing your close? I gave you guys 5 keys to your close. Memorizing it, building value, saying names properly, make sure they write it down, making sure you're confident, smile, nod, and ask for the order expecting a yes, but relax. Don't be awkward and expect it. We talked about the objection cycle, making sure you guys are using your objections, and we practice that. Dropping down, making sure that you're finding their comfort zone, all right? It's better to sell something smaller today or reserve a first call than have a homemaker later. Your job is to find whatever is best for them today. Cool. If they like Cutco, and our job is to help make sure they have the best value. The 9th thing is a secret weapon, which I just showed you guys. That was money in the bank for my business. And then number 10 is the wish list, making sure that you guys are always showing all the all the accessories. This is especially important for Cutco customers and people that have like a newer set of knives, but you should be doing this with everyone. So are you actually putting together a wish list? Are you helping them write down things they like? Go through the accessories. How do you know what to give away? Everyone write this down. Divide by 5. Cool. Divide by 5. That's normal. Whatever they're spending, divide by 5. That's how much you can give away. Cool. They're spending $300, divide by 5. You can give them $60 of whatever you want. They're buying $800. Literally just grab your calculator and you're like, oh man, what is it? Grab your calculator and you're like $800. And then you go divide by 5. And so I know, oh, I can give away $160. Okay. So divide by 5. That's how much you guys have permission to give away. They can pick out anything up to $160 worth. So that's an easy way to do free stuff, is divide by 5. If they're doing a trade-in, you can divide by 4. So write down trade-in equals divide by 4. All right. So again, whatever the total they're spending, divide by 5 is normal free stuff. If they do a trade-in, divide by 4. That's how much you can go up to in free stuff. On Thursday, we're going to talk more about bonus points. We're going to talk more about the drop-down method. On Saturday in Advanced Training 3, we're going to talk about upselling orders and really how to rock the heck out of that. So don't miss out on those, because if you do, you're going to lose a lot of really good stuff. All right. But guys, bottom line is the number one way to make more sales is to have more appointments, right? I gave you a lot of great stuff on sales today, but we know that the more appointments you have, the better. So the rest of today is going to focus on helping you guys have a killer list to call, so that you can really, we can really help you guys crush your fast start. And again, it doesn't matter where you're at now. It's all about how you finish. All right. I'm going to give you 10 things that impact getting more demos. We're going to move much quicker through this than we did the 10 things to impact your sales. All right. So number 1 is your recommendation script, guys. You need to have that down. There's 3 parts that you have to have down word for word. I'm about to give you guys the advanced recommendations approach. This is what all of our top guys use when they're on their appointments. All right. And it's real simple, and it has the sponsorship embedded. Everything's in here, but this is what they all use. And you guys can screenshot this if you want. I'm going to go ahead and try to share the link so you guys can see the link yourself and you can study it. All right. So I'll grab that for you all, but it's real simple. All right. And you guys want to get this down. This is the number one thing. My manager was like, Kat, if you know this, you're going to do really, really well. All right. So let me go ahead and put that in the chat box right now. And let me go ahead and share this on the screen and walk you guys through this. So this right here. So you're like, oh, Miss Smith, so how did you enjoy my demo? Like, oh my God, you did great. I'm like, awesome. And how do you like, do you remember the $150 sponsorship I was telling you about earlier? And they're like, oh yeah. All right. And it's always great to go back to that slide, right? So I'm like, oh, do you remember that slide, slide 11? And they're like, oh yeah. I'm like, okay, cool. So look at slide 11. So I actually get paid, and now you go into it. So there's one more important part. Here's where you can really help me. I don't care what you say there. All right. I do care is that you nail these 3 things down, because this is the job, the joke, and the reminder, and then that you explain the sponsorship properly. Everyone got that? So what's the job? I get paid every time I show Cutco, and I can only call people I'm recommended to. Cool. That's the job. So you're telling them that. Oh, so Miss Susie, I get paid every time I show Cutco, and I can only call people I've been personally recommended to. That's the job. Number 2 is the joke. And this is exactly what my manager taught me, by the way, 19 years ago. This is what I used and averaged 22 recommendations per appointment. Okay. So what I need you to do is grab your phone, please open your contacts, and let's jot down 200 to 300 people. No, I'm just kidding. Just 20 to 30 that might be nice enough to help me out. And Miss Jones, all right, so that's the joke. And then you're like, I'm not necessarily looking for people who would buy, just people nice like you willing to take a look. All right. And then you're going to explain the sponsorship. And you're like, so how the sponsorship works, every 50 sponsors I get, the company gives me $150 worth of Cutco that I can use to pay for books and whatnot at school. All you have to do to be a sponsor is just get to the first level at 10. And if you get to 20, you can be a double sponsor and count twice towards a sponsorship. Cool. So Miss Smith, what I actually just did, all right, and so this is going to be different now, all right, because now we're going to show them, send them the app, all right. So forget all this. This is before the app was built. Thank you, Jesus, for the app, because it makes it so much easier to do all of this, all right? But just so you guys know, like that existed once upon a time. So now you're like, so I just sent you a link for an app to make it super easy. So you don't even have to write anything down. So if you can go ahead and open that, and now you're gonna guide them through the app. And Spencer, I don't know if you wanna give some tips on guiding them through like, once they get it, what they're gonna do. Cause I know like, I just haven't had a lot of experience with the app yet. Would you be willing to share that? Is he there? Did he leave? He's somewhere. Okay. Just kidding. But you want to just walk them through and just say, hey, when you get the app, you're going to answer a couple things about our presentation. Then it'll upload your contacts, and then you can just select all the people that you think would be nice. And by the way, don't limit yourself to 20 to 30, you know, Miss Leslie, the more the merrier. Every 10 names as a sponsor. So like if you submitted 60 through the app, you're a 6-time sponsor for me. Cool. You submitted 30, you're a 3-time sponsor. But even if you only get to 10, you're still a sponsor. And Miss Susie, like you see on the slideshow, when I get all 50 sponsors, then that's when I get the $150 award. Cool. So go ahead and while I put the order online, you can go ahead and work on that. Cool. So that's a big thing. You have to ask for recs before you guys put their order online if they bought. Cool. Because that's going to give them way more time to give you more people while you're doing their order. Everyone got that? Give me a thumbs up if you got that. All right. So always ask for recs before you put their order online. And if it was a no sale, then you're like, hey, you can go ahead and work on that while I'm wrapping everything up and filling out my form about our appointment. And you guys can fill out your qualified presentation while they're doing that. Cool. Because as long as you're busy, Leslie, they stay busy. When you're done, they're done. So I want to find a reason that I'm still doing stuff while they do that, right? So I'm like, oh, while you do that, I'll fill out my form that I need to fill out about our presentation, and then we can wrap up. And so I just want to make sure that they're getting that information. Everyone good? So that's really important as you guys are working with the customers. Number 2, all right, going through here. So number 1 was recommendations approach. Make sure that you guys go through that. Number 2, make sure that you're handling objections, right? Those are in your rec, in the rec, tab. When you guys go in there, this is something you want to study. All right. We talked about the objection cycle earlier, but just making sure that you guys are studying this and getting comfortable. We're going to talk more about this Thursday, but don't wait till Thursday. So maybe tomorrow you study objections, but it tells you, if they say, I'll email them to you later. I don't know many people. I don't like to give out names. Like it tells you what to do there. All right. And by the way, on this recommendations approach, which I just shared with everybody, it gives you some extra steps here that are money. All right. So you're like, hey, thank you so much. Oh, is there any way you can get, a couple more to get here? Like they can always put more people for you through that app too. All right. But I like to know, hey, who loves to cook? Who's super nice? Who loves nice things? And so like asking them about the people. So that way you can make a note for yourself. Who are their top 3 to 5? So I'll ask, hey, if I was your kid, or if your kid started working with Cutco, or hey, if you were me, Miss Smith, who would you see first? And I'll write the names down. So when their list comes through, I know to put those on the top of my queue. All right. To make them a 3-star. So they show up first. So I want to know that. All right. Then guys, this is going to help you get more appointments right here. This is one of our other tips, but I'm just going to show it to you, is the text heads up. All right. So you guys should have this already in your notes. And again, I'm gonna put it into the chat box so you can copy and paste it. But you're just like, hey, I have a nice young student, or I have a nice young lady, or I have a nice young man, if you're not a student, named Christian. He's showing me some cool kitchen stuff and is working towards a scholarship. I just wanted to give you a heads up that I referred him to you and to expect his call. Don't worry, no pressure to buy unless you like it. So it's super simple, super laid back, heads up text message. This is what I used to use, all right? Then this is something that you can tell. Miss Jones, I found that a lot of people have more friends on Facebook than in their phones. So I'm actually trying to work on my social media marketing and advertising too. I'd love if you wouldn't mind putting up a post for me, introducing me to your Facebook friends. I'll send you a template of what you would post, and I'll send you a picture of me. So all you do is post the photo and the template as an introduction, and it'll say if anyone's willing to help me out, they can comment below. Would you be nice enough to put that up if I sent it over? Okay, awesome. It would mean the world. All right. And then guys, you want to send them a picture of you, and you guys should do this with everyone you saw this weekend. Do this with your parents, do this with your grandparents, do this with your aunts, do this with your best friend's mom. Make sure to add them on Facebook. If you don't have a Facebook, Nadia will tell you right now, I made her make one. She didn't have Facebook before this job. I made her make one, and she got a lot of sales this summer because of her Facebook. All right. So you're going to send them a picture, and you're going to go ahead and send them the initial message here. All right. And so it just says, hey, hope all is well. I have a favor. Would you mind putting this oh wait, this is if you're messaging people from before. So this is if you're asking on a demo. This is if you're texting people that you've seen already, all right? And then this is the Facebook post to share. Hey, who can help out? Nadia Blair is working really hard towards a scholarship, and every appointment she makes helps her towards a goal. It's a simple presentation over the computer for Cutco. Great thing is there's no obligation to purchase. It helps her either way, and it's quite fun. And if you think you might be able to help her, please comment below, like this post, or message her directly at Nadia Blair so she can contact you. Thanks for reading this and for your help. She insists on making her own money for college and not borrowing from her parents. She's one of those desperately needed entrepreneurs. Please help, reach out to this hardworking student. She's a sweetheart, by the way. So that's an example. You guys can look at a lot of the stuff Nadia used this summer, but there's a lot of cool stuff. Permission. And Nadia, do you have a quick second? Because I'd love for you to share, because you didn't have one before. And I know this is part of what helped you win the scholarship. And if you could just share how you used it or how it helped.
Yes, ma'am. It was a huge part, because I told Miss Kathy, I was like, Miss Kathy, Facebook's for old people. I don't want to use Facebook. My mom uses Facebook. I was very adamant, but I think the day I got Facebook, I got 5 sales. It's exceptionally exceptional because Facebook, I say it's for old people, but it really is the home of the Mac. So that's really important, because if you're looking for Macs, you want to go where the Macs are. So just building your Facebook page is really important. I have my customers tag me. I was actually on the computer a second ago, and somebody was joking about how they lost a spoon, and somebody was like, oh, make sure you go to my Cutco girl at Nadia Blair, and by tagging me, they have an instant door, and I have an instant door to them as well. So it's really important, because you're almost shooting yourself in the foot if you're I just don't want to get a Facebook, because you're saying that's someone else's money, because if you don't find that customer, I will. So make sure you're always trying to build your business to the best it can be.
Awesome. And Nadia, if you can share your Facebook name, if someone wants to search you and look at your page, she literally just made her Facebook just for Cutco, for networking. So you definitely want to do that, because she mentioned, all your Mac customers, they're on Facebook. That's the average age there, 30 to 60. Those are the most customers that use Facebook. And the other thing is, it gives you a message you can send to all your parents' friends on Facebook. You can message every one of your parents' friends, grandparents, and everyone, and say, hey, I'm Miss Susie, this is Kathy Kristen. I'm, Mickey and Armando's daughter. I'm attending Palm Beach Atlantic University, as an international business student. The company I'm working for offers scholarships to help me pay for school. So you can just message them on Facebook. By the way, guys, you can also do this on LinkedIn. You can also do this through Instagram. You can also, so are you using social media to help impact your business? And again, Facebook is #1 for our target market. So that's something you can put on your list of things to do late tonight or tomorrow, is create a Facebook account if you don't have one, or reactivate the one you do have. All right. So that will play a big list. That'll play a big deal. All right. So that was the third tip was utilizing Facebook. All right. So making sure that you guys do that. So that was number 3. Number 4 is your top 50 list. And guys, it's important to stick with your initial names. And really, I'm going to talk about like how you want to set things up and what you want that to look like. And I'm going to spend about 10 minutes on this, and then we'll go through some of the other ones quick. But here's the deal. The people, like when you guys are starting off, that initial list, like is so huge. And to start with the people that like stick with the people that you know, like that first gear. And if you're ready to go into second gear, you can go into second gear, and I'm going to show you the acquaintances. But think about driving a stick shift car. You want to go from gear 1 to gear 2 to gear 3 to gear 4. If you go from 1 to 4, you stall, just so you know. And you know, the goal is to have over 100 referrals of people you don't know before you start calling those, because then that gives you room for error. You know, if you dive into, it's kind of like calling referrals you don't know once you're over 100. It's kind of like jumping into a 10-foot pool. All right. You have a safety net there. You're not going to crack your head open. But when you start right in the beginning and you only have 15, 20, 30 referrals, and you try to start calling the referrals you don't know right away and you don't have experience yet, it's kind of like diving into a pool with 10 inches of water. You're going to crack your head open. It's not going to be a good situation. Okay. So you want to make sure you give yourself. So all of you this weekend got referrals to people that you know of, that they know of you. You also got referrals to people you don't know at all. Cool. So the ones you don't know at all, we're gonna stockpile those till we get to 100. Cool. Don't touch those yet. The ones that know of you or you know of. All right. By the way, all of grandma's people will. You can call them and say, "Oh, I'm, you know, Miss Nellie's granddaughter," and they will be like, "Oh my gosh!" Right? Like they all know of you. All of your close family's friends, like those, they all know of you. You can use the acquaintance approach for them. Okay, but it's just like if they don't know that you're alive on this planet, have no connection to you, nor you to them, don't touch those yet. All right, let's just wait for those so we can get you guys in a really good spot. Thank you. So I want you guys to grab a pen and paper real quick. All right, and I'm just going to give you guys some thought joggers. And as I go through, and I'm actually going to put up a thought jogger list on here so you guys can see it. But as I go through, I want you guys to think about, who do you have from that category that you have not seen yet? Okay. Who do you have from that category that you have not seen yet? So this is called the chicken list. And we're going to talk about what a chicken list is, but I want you guys to think about right now. So who are people from your initial list that you have not seen yet? So I want you guys to write down, who do you have, like family members, right? What family have you not seen? Best friend's parents. Write them down right now. I want you guys to write them down. So best friend's parents that you have not seen. Parents' best friends that you have not seen. Is there any family? What family do you have that you haven't seen yet? All right. Think about school. All right. People that you graduated with. How many people from school have you not been able to see yet? And I'm just going to give you a bunch of thought joggers, but friends, best friends, and I'm going to shoot things out and you guys just write stuff down as it comes up. But friends, best friend, families with only one child, families with lots of children. What teachers have you not seen? Who do you know who wants to teach? Who do you know who's a twin? Who do you know that has twins? Who do you know that wants twins? What siblings, friends, siblings, parents? Who do you know that wants to be in sales or is in sales? Who do you know that's in business or wants to be? Who do you know that owns their own business? Who do you know that works from home? Who do you know that wants to own their own business? And again, I'm going fast, but anyone that comes up that you haven't seen yet, write them on the paper so we can make a hit list of who we want to get numbers for, who we want to reach out to. Who's in Little League? What Little League parents do you know? How about Little League's teammates' parents? How about, were you ever in Little League? Can you find those old rosters? Who's involved in the PTA? Who do you know that's involved in the PTA? Who have you not seen from church? Maybe you don't know their names. So you're like red hair lady, choir director, soloist, pianist, preacher, whatever it is. But who do you have from your church that you haven't seen yet? Who do you have from your former church? All right. That was a lot of my great first people was a church I went to from when I was 5 years old till I was 12 years old. And I got a lot of great people from that. Think about who do you know who's ambitious? Who do you know who's in a bowling league? Do you know a minister, a deacon, a priest, a rabbi? Who's most trustworthy? Who do you know who's a doctor? Who do you know who's a dentist? Who do you know who's a chiropractor? Who do you know that goes to therapy? All right. Who has a great smile? Who works nights? Who works shifts? Do you have access to a church directory? Who do you know who has access to a church directory, right?
Logan's mom just gave him a church directory.
Nice. Logan's mom just gave him a church directory with 300 people. Nice. All right. If someone has a church directory, you got a crap ton of Matt customers you guys can go see. All right. Who do you know who has a new baby? Who do you know that likes to read a lot? All right. Think about college professors, previous teachers, old babysitters, old nannies. Our old nanny, Marlene, she got a galley set from me, and gave me great recommendations. Do you know an engineer? Do you know a doctor? Do you know a lawyer? Do you know a carpenter? Mechanics. I love mechanics. They love good tools and they know tons of great people. Who do you know who's in Cub Scouts, Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts? Put their parents, John's parents, Mary's parents, Suzanne's parents. Who's in the YMCA? All right. Who's a barber or beautician? You get a lot of people. They have lots of customers. Who do you know who works in a dry cleaner? Who do you know that owns a dry cleaner? Who do you know that's a plumber, electrician, works in a restaurant? Who was your mom's maid of honor? Who was your dad's best man? How about an old boss? Who's your parents' old bosses? My dad's old boss, his wife was my first complete set, all right? My mom's physical therapist, him and his wife bought a homemaker set from me. Our dentist, we had the same dentist, Dr. Richard, same eye doctor since I was a little girl. I saw him when I was 19. Him and his wife bought a homemaker and gave me 30 referrals, all right? So have you called your family doctor? Have you called your family dentist? Have you called your, and those were people on my chicken list, and I'll talk about that in a minute. Who do you know who's a lawyer? Does your family have a lawyer? All right. Who do you know from your neighborhood? All right. You could put front neighbor, back neighbor, side neighbor. My parents moved to a house while I was in college. I didn't grow up there, but I remember going and knocking on the doors of the neighborhood, and I knocked and I said, hey, I'm your neighbor from across the street, or my parents live right there in the corner house. I'm actually just going around the neighborhood, introducing myself. I'm a student at Palm Beach Atlantic. I'm working to get some business experience. I get paid to do a quick appointment over the phone. So I actually wouldn't even have to come inside, or I can come over and show you. I'm totally up to you with COVID. But I get paid to do a quick presentation, and it helps me out a ton. And they were like, oh, sure. And I got demos with my front neighbor, the front side neighbor, the back neighbor. I sold a table knife set to the front and some scissors to the side. I sold an all knife set to the back. I sold a homemaker. One of my neighbors wouldn't open. They're like peeking out the window, but they wouldn't open the door. I'm like, I see you. But anyway, those are people that could be, and we could show you guys how to do that. Have you seen all your aunts, your uncles? Who had to reschedule on you? Write them down. Who are people you wanted to see and needed to reschedule? All right. And I'm going to show you guys how to build urgency and how to firm it up. That's super important. Who do you know that goes skiing? Who do you know that likes golf? Who do you know that plays cards? Who do you know that's a waitress? Who do you know who's an optometrist, right? Who do you know is a police officer, firefighter, hospital worker? These guys have like funky shifts, so you'll catch more during the day or at night or different times. So it helps you fill your day spots. Who do you know is a bartender? Who do you know is a photographer, wedding photographer? Did you put people from the swim team, tennis team, weight team, football team? Who do you know from out of state, right? And I can keep going. There's a lot more that I could give you, all right? But I just want you guys to get that going. So again, just look at your list and think about at least these areas right here. Who are the people that you have not seen yet from your original list? How many referrals of people you know? If you don't know them, don't touch them, okay? But referrals you got of people that know of you, all right? Think about with school, how many did you graduate? How many have you shown? Think about church, again. And if you don't go to church, who do you know that goes to church? All right, that's a jackpot right there when you get that. By the way, directories in general. Do you know someone that's part of a club, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts? Do you know someone who's in the yacht club? Do you know someone who's in a bunco club? Like they have a list of all the members or a directory. Those are awesome. All right. Neighborhoods. Some have neighborhood directory. Some people, they use there's a Nextdoor app for people in your neighborhood, and you guys can put stuff there and you can talk to Spencer about that. All right. And I already showed you guys Facebook, but Facebook is a very big way for you guys to get more people. All right. And by the way, we'll have a workshop tomorrow at 5 o'clock with Matthew. If anybody wants to really get a list of 100 or more people to call, cool. He's helped a lot of people do this and go from having 20 or 30 people to have 114 people, to have 140 people, to have 180 people. I think he did one with someone and they had over 200 people and he did this himself. So it's a names list expansion. So if you'd like help expanding your list and learning how to do that, tomorrow at 5 p.m., it's from 5 to 6, Matthew will be doing that tomorrow. Okay. So we can help you guys with that. So make a note of that. If that's something you want to attend, it's from 5 to 6 p.m. All right. So tip number 5 is collecting phone numbers, right? So are you guys actually using your friends, parents? So some of you guys have already done this. Some of you guys haven't. You have the text message through Vector Impact app. Also, if you go to the phoning tab in your manual and you scroll down past the video, all right, there's Stacy in the video. Underneath that, it says getting phone numbers. And it shows you exactly how to call or text your friends to ask them to get their parents' number. And it shows you copy and paste exactly what to say based on what they say. Super simple. It's right there. It's just getting yourself set up. Okay. Number 6 is see your chicken list. See your chicken list. All right. What is a chicken list? Why do we call it a chicken list? All right. Because it's a list of people that you're too chicken to call. All right. Worst case scenario, they say no, but they probably won't. All right. So this is really important. I was too scared to call people from my old church. I got into trouble in high school. I got expelled when I was a sophomore. I got expelled when I was a senior. And so that was not good to get expelled twice from high school. I was valedictorian in my senior class. I was captain of everything. I led a praise and worship at my small Christian school. All right. I was an embarrassment to my family. I felt horrible. I just kind of disappeared when I went to college. People didn't hear from me for a couple of years. I stopped going to church, and I started this job and it started with people that we know. I'm like, oh shit, and I just remember being super nervous to call people. And my dad's like, what's the worst they're going to say? Like when you call Leo, which actually Leo literally just reordered from me this weekend, but Leo was one of my first week appointments. My dad's like, why don't you call Leo and the guys from the church? And my dad was in choir with him. And I was like, I haven't seen them, because again, I went to that church. We stopped going to that church when I was in 10th grade. When I got expelled, my mom was too embarrassed to stay in that church. We went to a different church, so like I hadn't seen them in like 5 years. And I'm like, Dad, like, I feel weird calling Leo and Mary and Mimi. And he's like, what do you think they're going to say? You think Mimi's going to be like, oh my God, I can't believe you're calling us and you're working hard to get business experience and communication skills. And like, I can't believe you. Like, if anything, Mimi and Leo are going to be like, oh my God, Kathy, it's so good to hear from you. I'm so glad to hear you're not in jail. I'm like, oh, thanks, Dad. He's like, no, like they're going to be like happy to hear how you're doing. Like they love you. They love our family. They saw you grow up. He's like, call them. And I remember calling Mrs. Hills from church, Leo, other friends of ours, Julia, the Marinos and Jeff Marinos and people from our church. And I was super nervous at first. Those were chicken lists. I was too chicken to call them. I hadn't talked to them in 5 years and I got into trouble in high school. Right. But like, it was so amazing catching up with them. Like, oh my God, I'm so glad to see you're doing so well. How are your sisters? How's your brother? How are your parents? Like, where are you going to school? Like, what's happening? And like, they were so excited to hear. And so it was really cool because I got to connect with a lot of people. So see your chicken list. All right. Have fun with it. Have fun connecting with people, like look at your list. Cause I'm sure you have some chickens on it now. And if not, make sure to add 10 to 20 of your chickens. All right. And make it a point to pick 2 or 3 to see this week, if not more. Cool. Like push yourself out of your comfort zone and test it and see, because you'll see they'll be like super excited to hear from you and your family. And it really helps out. All right. Number 7, getting tips to getting more appointments are your phone skills. All right. So number 7 are your phone skills. So if you've been writing these down, we went recommendation script was number 1. Number 2 was handling objections properly. Number 3 was utilizing Facebook. Number 4 was your top 50 list, like keeping that list growing. And again, if you want help with that, tomorrow night, 5 o'clock. Number 5 was using the vector demo, like getting friends' parents' numbers. So just using that resource to get more phone numbers. Number 6 was see your chicken list. All right. And so make sure you make a list of your chickens and don't avoid those, because it sucks if someone else gets them, by the way. Rebecca Ferreira was too chicken to see her aunt. She said her aunt probably wasn't going to buy, and she felt weird seeing her. She thought her aunt was going to like give her crap about doing this. Richard started working with us. All right. One of my Richards in Miami. And his first weekend, he saw her aunt because they went to the same church, and she bought a homemaker from him. And I remember he came to the office for something. We had a team meeting, or this was years ago, and we were all live. And she walks in, and she's like, "Who's Richard? Who's Richard?" And he's like sitting in the corner, and he's like, "Me." And I was like, "What's up, Rebecca?" And she's like, "Okay, my aunt bought a homemaker from you, and I'm going to tell her to cancel and buy it from me." And I said, "Absolutely not. I will not approve that. I will tell the company that is Richard's customer, not your customer." And she's like, "But that's my aunt." I'm like, "But you didn't go see her, and Richard did. So sucks for you." And she was like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "I'm dead serious." I'm like, "You've worked here 2 weeks and you haven't seen your aunt?" I said, "Well, Richard saw your aunt." I said, "Stop being so chicken." So don't be chicken to see your people. I promise you. And if you're too chicken, give them to Nadia. She'll go see them and sell them a lot of cocoa. All right. But you'll notice as you get more and more comfortable, you're going to get more people. "Oh, Nadia, I didn't even know that happened to you." So she didn't see her aunt in Atlanta. Someone else got to her first. So don't let other people get there first. Book up those demos with the people that you know. All right. So I want to give you guys, there's 5 simple keys to phone calls that you can jot down. So we're still under number 7. Number 1 is follow the script. All right. If not, you sound weird, and all the scripts work super perfect. All right. The second tip is choice of 2. Give yes or yes questions, meaning is 7 good or 8 better, right? That's a yes question. Yes or yes. We're not saying a yes or no. You don't want to say, "Oh, can you see me tomorrow?" That's a yes or no. You want to say, is Saturday good or is Sunday better? Okay, cool. Is 10 good or is 12 better? So that way they're saying yes, no matter what, they're saying yes. All right. Number 3, build urgency. All right. And we're going to review the script, but number 3 is build urgency. You want to make sure you build urgency for the time by saying like, "Hey, I'm trying to get 10 by Saturday. I'm trying to do 5 by tomorrow. I'm trying to," so always build urgency. Write down, put a deadline for your goal, right? So it's like, "Hey, I want to do 5 by tomorrow night," or "Hey, I'm trying to do 10 by Thursday," or give them a deadline for your goal so you can get them sooner. Number 4, the importance of tying them into goals and talking about the scholarship or contest. If you're not in school, contest, contest, contest. If you're in school, scholarship, scholarship, scholarship. All right. So tie them into your goals and let them know about the contests or scholarships that you have. All right. And number 5 is you need to firm it up and thank them profusely. All right. Firm it up and thank them profusely, because it makes a very big difference in the results that you're going to have. All right. So I'm going to show you guys on the phone right now, the acquaintance approach. All right. And for those who are comfortable, you have permission to start using this today. All right. If not, we're going to go over this more on Thursday, but this is the acquaintance approach. This is for gear 2. I use this for all of my parents' friends. Cool. I didn't know their friends very well. I was very independent, kind of on my own always. I went away to college. I didn't talk to anyone. So, but I went through my mom's cell phone and I literally just called and I was like, "Hey, is this whatever, Suzanne?" I'm like, "Hey, Suzanne, this is Kathy Vasquez," was my maiden name. I'm like, "This is Kathy Vasquez. I don't know if my name rings a bell, but I'm Mickey and Armando Vasquez's oldest daughter. How are you?" And I remember her being like, "Oh my God." And actually this happened with Carrie. Carrie was like, "Oh my gosh, this is Kathy." And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Oh my gosh, you're in college?" I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "I remember changing your diaper when you came home. Like your mom didn't even know how to change diapers, you know?" And I was like, I had no idea this lady changed my diaper when I was little, like I had no idea. But like they were my mom's friends. She's known forever. And your mom's friends, they know their kids. Cool. So Anyway, I was like, oh, awesome. I'm like, how are you? Whatever. We said hi. And I'm like, well, hey, I was hoping you could help me out with something I'm working on for school. Do you have a few minutes? She's like, yeah. And so I'm like, well, I'm currently, a junior at Palm Beach Atlantic University. This summer I'm working with a company really hard to earn a scholarship for college. My assignment's really simple. Basically, I get paid to show products to people I've been personally recommended to. But the cool thing about it is since I get paid just to show it, you don't have to buy anything. I just need to get your opinion on it really quickly. It's a lot of fun. It's quick and easy, and it can actually help me out towards a scholarship from the company. By the way, I can do the presentation right over the phone. You just need to be in front of a computer or tablet and have internet access. All right. So here you go. There's the urgency. I need to do 3 appointments by tomorrow to hit my goal. Or I want to do 10 appointments by Friday to hit my goal. So give within a 3-day window. But if you still are trying to hit your goal for tomorrow, tell them I still need 2 more appointments for tomorrow to hit my goal. Cool. So I was hoping I could schedule a call with you tomorrow at 10 a.m. or would 11:30 be better? And then make sure that you guys ask for specific times. Everyone got that? And once they say yes, you're like, hey, thank you so much. You have no idea how much this means to me. Can I grab your email address so I can send you a confirmation? Okay, thank you. So I have us down for, tomorrow at 11:30, correct? Great. I'm really looking forward towards our call tomorrow at 11:30. Thank you again. All right. And guys, something you'll hear the top guys is they'll actually ask them, and by the way, is this definitely a good time that works in your schedule? All right. And they're like, yeah, I'd be like, because I actually had a couple appointments this past week that totally forgot about me. And it really set me back for my contest. So I know moms are busy. So I just want to make sure it's a good time, so it's okay to do a little extra firm up, especially if you've had some cancellations. My manager taught me that. I became really damn good at that. And I'll run a workshop in the next couple of weeks. One of the mornings I'll do my phone workshop on urgency and firm up, like what my manager taught me. And guys, I completed 85% of my demos. Cool. And so that's something that we can show you guys. But if you just read the manual and make sure they write it down and make sure, hey, is this a good time? Okay, awesome. So just make sure to firm up that it's a good time and they write it down. That's going to make a difference in the results that you guys have. All right. So that's really huge. And just make sure you have phone consistency, right? If you're making 15, 20 calls every single morning, you're doing 5 calls before and after every demo, you're going to set yourself up for success. All right. Number 8, proper goals. All right. Proper goals. So guys, don't forget you have your fast start right now. All right. And you have a chance to win some pretty cool stuff. So this week, you have until Monday for your fast start. Determine a goal. Is it getting to 3,000 and doubling your starting pay? Is it getting to 6,000, which will take you about 25 to 30 appointments by Monday to get to 6,000? And it means you earned $1,000 in income and you hit 3 promotions. Are you like Will, who was at 0 in advanced training and you're like, F this crap, I'm going after 10. And he did 11,000. And we made a plan and helped him with that, right? So determine a fast start goal of what you're excited about so that we can help you guys. And we have a sheet that actually shows you how to make this spring $2,000, $5,000 or $10,000 in your campaign, cool, during the spring campaign, during school. And for those who are not in school, guys, we can show you how to make a lot more. So when you guys meet with your coach tomorrow or this week, make sure that you figure out, when do you want to hit 10K by? We call it Dirty 30 birthday. When's your Dirty 30 birthday, right? What do you want to do this spring? What would you be excited about earning? And we're going to help you guys with that. So maybe you've never set goals before. I hadn't before this job, actual breakdown numbers goals, never done that before. And now I'm known as one of the people to go to for breaking down goals. And almost half my book talks about that, but really helping you guys get what you want to get out of it. We're super excited. All right. Number 9 is time management. All right. This is new for probably most of you. This was brand new to me with this job. The need to make a schedule, manage my time, plan when I was doing what, because before I just kind of did whatever, whenever. And then I was like, oh shit, I have a paper due tomorrow. And I'd be staying up all night writing it or whatever, but I was really bad at time management. And so we want to show you guys how to create a schedule. You have control and flexibility as to what your schedule looks like weekly, but you need to make it. Cool. Schedules are due Mondays at 4 o'clock every week for the new week. And if you want a manager to sit and help you map it out because you're not good at it, gosh, we're so good at it. And we want to help you guys get really good at it. And so when you sit and do that with a manager and they can say, okay, what do you have going on? When do you need to study? When do you need to do this? And put in all your things. It is so awesome for you mentally and emotionally to have everything that it's like less stress, less anxiety. Like we'll show you how to get, there is time to have a boyfriend or girlfriend or husband or spouse, to have kids, to have a business, to travel, to do fun things, to work. There's time for everything. You make time for the things that are important to you. And we can sit and help make a game plan for you guys to help you have a plan that you are so excited about. Cool. And so after your fast start, we're going to sit down and you guys are going to meet with a manager here soon just to like look at your schedule, make sure we have this week on lock. But do you have your personal activities? You guys should have school, work, family. If you have another job, for instance, like that should be in there. Date night, it should be in there, right? Gaming with the girlfriend, it should be in there if that's something you're doing. So whatever it is that you're doing, you want to make sure it's in your schedule. All right. And then before you leave today, you're going to schedule your personal coaching session. So Spencer, if we can make sure, talk to Erica and we have times available, ready to go. And I'm going to need them over here to help support and check everyone's stuff here in just a couple minutes. Okay. Last thing, number 10 is, the importance of phone calls. All right. And making sure that you set yourself up. So attending phone jams, 45-minute phone jams, whether you do a 45-minute phone jam at 11 a.m., you do a 45-minute phone jam at 7:30 a.m., you do a 45-minute phone jam at 6:30 p.m., at 8:30 p.m., like sitting down, never for less than 45 minutes if you're going to have a phone jam. Cool. If you're just making 5 calls before and after, that's 5 calls before and after. But if you're like, oh, I'm going to sit and phone, and then we're like, oh, what did you, and by the way, 45 minutes, you should make 20 plus calls. And that's why we do, because you want to make 20 plus calls and that takes about 45 minutes to do that. Okay. Less than 20 calls, you're not really giving yourself much of a shot, at getting your stuff lined up. So we want to help you guys with that. So just know that, every hour making phone calls typically should lead to about 3 appointments, 3 appointments. You look at that. And that's typically about $500 in CPO, 2 sales, even with a 250 average, that's 500 CPO. Well, guys, that's $50 or $100 or $250 in income, depending on what commission level you're at, just for that 1 hour of work. So I think that's pretty awesome. And so, like I said, every day we have a lunch jam at 11 a.m. every single day. You can also make calls in the morning on your own earlier. It's a great time to catch people between 7:30 and 9:30 a.m. before they go to work. And then in the evenings, after 6:30, is a great time to catch people. My favorite was always 8 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. That's where I made most of my money. If I wasn't on a demo, I always made calls then because I catch so many people. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to set you guys up right now so that how we can go through here with you all. All right. And make sure we get your schedule done and make sure that we get things happening. Now, I also told you guys that I'm going to have the ladies available, and Spencer, if you can tell Erica and Mary if they can hop over here, and Cynthia, but we're going to help you guys out. If you have, friends that might need work. And so I want to say this real quick before we dive into making calls and checking your schedules and making sure you're all set. By the way, if you're in a rush because you're like, I have a 6 o'clock appointment, please send a message and let Spencer know so that we can prioritize meeting with you first. If you can wait while we meet with others, please let us know that you can wait. That helps us so much. Make some calls, book, you have lots of work to do to get organized for this week. So if you have the time right now and you don't have an immediate appointment, let us know you can be one of the ones, that we can wait to meet with you. All right. Now, if you do have a friend on the phone and you're like, hey, they want more info, you can three-way call one of the managers. I can let you know, hey, call Erica right now or call Mary right now, or they can help you and they can help schedule them for an interview. Okay, so just so you guys know that. But here's the deal. I want to say, I know some of you guys, we've already been scheduling a bunch of friends. I was talking to Marilyn earlier. I'm like, thank you so much, for helping us build the team. Like there's so many people, especially this year with COVID, that have just had a really tough year. There's been a lot of jobs that have been lost for adults and for younger people because there weren't the same jobs available because of COVID and so many things shut down and so many things with like lower occupancy rates, right? And so it's been really difficult. And I think about financially how that impacts people being able to share, especially during the holidays. And for some people, that's a life-changing experience getting to work here. I've had people that were referred to the job, they didn't even know who referred them, but they're like, I am forever grateful, that they recommended me to the job. And I think that's pretty awesome. Getting a chance to win together, like you guys going out, making money, hitting promotions, advancing, but also people around you being able to have an opportunity that they can make what they want of it, And so I think about for you guys, getting a chance to work with your friends. It's super fun. It makes it not feel like work. I loved my first summer. I had 7 of my friends that worked with Cutco that summer, and we had a blast. We competed like crazy. We went to concerts together. We made a ton of money together. We had so much fun. And these people become some of your best friends in the world. I think about your Fast Start bonuses and all the prizes. You guys can win over $1,000 in free product. You can win a scholarship. You can win a free trip. All right. 4 days, 3 nights, all expenses paid trip. If you get to 10K by Monday night, like that's pretty sick. All right. To be able to do that, leadership opportunities and being able to advance and all the prizes you guys can get, like the free AirPods and the free Ray-Bans and the free different levels of prizes. All right. And so we're super excited to help you guys in that, but team builder scholarship, regular scholarship, lots of cool stuff available for you all. And again, that's something that we're excited to help you guys maximize those things. And so if you're not aware for any reason of the levels of the contest, I don't know if maybe that wasn't shared during training, or if you were in the bathroom or something and you might have missed it when it was shared. But I do want to show you guys this so that the personal recruiting awards. And this is something easy. This was what Julia had oh my gosh, it was like 80 something people that applied, just like Marilyn had 100 people last night apply. But this is Julia right here sticking her tongue out. And she had just said, hey, my job's looking for some help this fall, $16 starting pay. And this was some years ago, but she's like, super flexible. Let me know if you know anyone that might be looking for some extra income. Also it helps me stand out for a promotion. And she just sent that to everyone on Snapchat and people were like, what is it? Where is it? And she just got their phone numbers and we helped her with that. But you guys have these levels for 3, 6, 9, 12 people where you guys can win the Ray-Bans, or it can be something similar priced. You can win the AirPods, and I'm fine doing the AirPods first. Those are similar price, but we've had people really excited about getting some new shades. So whether it's that, whether it's AirPods or something like it, I bought 6 pairs of these bad boys this week to be given away for prizes. So we're super excited to help you guys out with that. But what you guys can do is, this is an example of a post that you could put up. I know right now with the holidays, we've been doing more of a holiday feel with things and just letting them know that we have some positions over the holidays. I'm going to go ahead and, you could copy that. I'll give you another example right now in the chat box. This is what Mary used when she did hers. She just, put this on her post and sent that to everybody. And it just said like, hey, my job's offering virtual positions where you can work from home. Starting pays $18. Schedules are flexible. Let me know if you know anyone who might be looking for some extra cash. The only thing I would add there is you can even work as little as 1 to 5 weeks over break. All right. So just letting people know that that's an option, because a lot of jobs, they're not able to do that. And so that's something that's definitely exciting for people. All right. So that's something you can do. So something that Everyone, I'm going to give you guys a text message that you guys can share, send out to a couple friends. But if you know someone, you're like, oh, I know someone that I want you to talk to, like to help you, like pick your top 2. Like, let's just real quick, like your top 5 people, you can do up to 10. I don't have time to do much more than that. But if you can think of, I know you guys uploaded these big lists of 100, 200, 300, 500 people. We don't have time to call all of them. We're short staffed right now. But if you can do me a favor and just text your top 3 to 5 and say, hey, do you have a quick second? And then if they respond, then we can just get them on the phone and say, hey, actually, I'm with my manager right now. They have some openings I wanted you to hear about. This is Erica, and just put them on the phone with Erica. We can help you guys all get your first 2 or 3 scheduled. Okay. So if you have anyone that you know that responds to you and they want info, just unmute yourself and say, hey, I have a friend on the phone, and we'll say, hey, call Mary or call whoever. And Erica, staff, if we can be ready to just put in the box so that they know that. All right. So we have that. But anyway, last couple of things that I was sharing here. So we're gonna help you guys with that. We're gonna help you with your contest. Okay. But before we leave, I want to say this. All right. As we leave here this week, all right, 3 things. You're gonna be one of 3 pass. All right, for your fast start. For 10% of you, everything's going to go wrong your first week. That was Ethan Poole. It just won't click. You'll have a bunch of no sales. You'll come to team meeting Thursday. You'll be bumming out. Don't worry. You're going to be fine. You can't expect every week to be a great week. Okay. But keep plugging along, asking questions. You know, Tatania, she didn't have the week she wanted her first week, and then things clicked right at the end. And then she just kept going and got to her dirty 30 in the next 2 weeks. And it was so awesome. But just know that team meeting is going to be awesome on Thursday night. I can't wait to have you guys all there. You know, I know that when, you know, like some of our guys like Ethan, he had an awful first 6 days. But then the second weekend was incredible for him. And he hit several promotions and was one of our top people, you know. And then, you know, make sure that you're really opening up your Saturday, Sunday, Monday to finish strong. So we're going to meet together, you know, 4 o'clock on Thursday before the team meeting. We're going to meet together Saturday morning at 9 a.m. We're going to have the last advanced training that I'm going to run, but just to help set you guys up into this next week. Okay. So just so you guys know that, but you have coaches. We're here to support. We're here to help. All right. So 80% of you guys, this week, things will be very normal. You'll have a few no sales. You'll also have some great sales. You'll probably utilize a trade-in, right? Once or twice, or 4, 5, 6 times like I did. You know, use the silver cup specials. Those are extended through your fast start. All right. And you can see those right on the website. Your customers can see those right on the website. And just in case you're like, what the heck is that? Or I missed that, or I left early, or I was in the toilet when they talked about that. Your customers are able to see this on their, you can guide them to it, you know, if you need to or want to, especially with people that you know well, on their demo, the yourcutcodemo.com. So on the customer site, check this out. They can actually see the Silver Cup specials. All right. When you go here, so it says welcome, it has downloads. All right. And so it has like downloads for them. And then it has here, you know, forever guarantee. All right. Let me put here, Silver Cup specials. All right. There we go. So this right here, I need to find it where that is there. So I apologize. It was epic fail there. But it's in there. And I want to make sure you guys all have those. So managers, if you guys can help me with that everyone has those, but you can use those all the way through the end of your fast start until Monday, just so you guys know. All right. But use that. And by the way, the team meeting, you know, by then, some of you guys are going to be in that group. We'll be at, you know, sell another 500 to 1,000, maybe 2K by Thursday. And that's great. You're on track. Make sure you focus on your second weekend because it's always bigger than the first. And for 10% of you, everything goes right. You're going to use all the things we talked about today and go nuts like Bob did. You're going to sell homemaker, ultimate, trade-in special, Silver Cup special, whatever it is. And you're going to walk into the team meeting with several $1,000s in orders. And if this is you, step it up. Don't get complacent. Make sure you're focused on weekend demos so you can go after one of those fast start records and get your name on the wall. All right. So for the next couple days. These are really important. Make sure you guys are showing the right people. Like, can you get a minimum of 3 appointments completed by Thursday when we meet? That's possible for some. I know some are in finals and can't, but minimum 3. And goal would be 5 or more, right? And everyone's schedule is different. But make sure you're following the manual. Make sure you have a great attitude. Guys, it's okay to be negative, but try to keep it to 5 minutes, all right? If you need to bitch and holler and things aren't going well, do so with a manager, but get it out. And then, all right, what do we do now? All right, character buildings are good. Character building days are good days. And when shit goes wrong, that's a character building day. Because guess what? Everyone can handle everything growing great. It's the champions that can handle the bad days and keep moving forward. That's what makes them champions, by the way. So keep focused, keep working hard, and don't forget that it's all a numbers game. All right. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to throw on some music and we're going to start grabbing you guys. And again, let us know if you're able to wait. Let us know if you need to if you have to get going immediately. But this is a time where you're going to start reaching people, cool, that are coming home. Again, I want to reiterate from the beginning of the day, these things should be done. And before you leave, we need to check your QPR with you. If not, your paycheck will be off. So you need to review that with a manager. It'll take us 2-3 minutes to review that with you. We need your schedule. If you already updated it, it's going to take us 2 minutes to look at it with you if it's updated. So please update that. Are all your goals in Vector Impact? We need all your goals in there because that's going to make us meet with you really fast. We'll be done within 5 minutes with you if all this is done. And then again, you know, if you can post on social platforms, we really appreciate it. And rock calls right now. We want to make sure that everyone can book up 2 or 3 more demos. And again, any friends that you guys have that you're like, hey, I'd love for you to meet them, get them on the phone so we could talk to them right now. Our goal is to help you each book up at least 2 of your friends since we haven't been able to get to everyone. Okay. So really, really awesome job.